Defense staff kurampo mashase hwemu kwoso. Hey, Jenny commander Timi Suma say asoja for ko chamber honum say. So Jenny just commander. Woman kono woman eh. And I said cool, I don't know. So bet me cool, so bet me be hey. Anna paying command door so make out the Supreme Court to be signed Nancy and then no day you wine be bass Jean Mensa say you bet me across examine no and I ain't me cross examine no say NDC for lawyer for so person mototo ombuze bisa nsem and na Supreme Court today yes eye wine no eba obiniyem and come on it does super Ana pe na na makuma be fi kami ho be boa na wakenkan ye de bon krata no so ensem ne se ne setie what the amayen make out say wa dwintre obetimi dia fire WhatsApp line no 0503721744 0503721744 no pe na what the wa dwintre no e de aba yeah, that's it. So, Muamudi Valentine, no, any chocolate day in the account, no, anyway, me bomb mom, make time we said, and 11 February, and I just to me said, 14 February is just around the corner. If you celebrate your birthday too on 14th February, like this good friend, sweetheart of mine, Valentina, yes, happy birthday in advance. Free, we didn't say, so we did covered into to me say yes, hey.
Ghana Montier. Ghana Montier. Oh, this some papa. Cassia bo. Kowaka tamonsa. Amaya sa. Cassia waje. Onye yimu. No cretrodo. Kawagile men kamadini bo. Mama yentie. Cassia waje 100.9.
Right, so the Bankata and Niman Seven Yahweh saying Nana Makuma Befi coming home and a pay Yenchi and Sam City the front pages of the newspapers. Nanama.
I was here for one corner girl and yeah, Martina made your swam a day a year the one cratano, a divo fry, darling boy, dear mammy and a parent.
One forehead, shining forehead, Miss Matia. Yeah. One shining forehead.
One shining forehead.
Yeah.
I was in the account when the producers do actually, and I social media, from my friend and one when you now boy a chidom near the Anna page me the Debra Wop. Now, me de a daily graphic dog Bocratan, na me de a share the one cratano, any more and some no acid. Now, yeah, and someone would want a go appointment committee anymore. And rather, on when young folk were quite my men were born in dear friend war, and what in a woman anymore, and a woman a be son or a dear first step. COVID-19 is here, no, and Roy, I see a crowd about my gun and when I was saying, and was you Ghana by our mother, I shall step. enro doses ne be say 355,000 de obetimi ama na ba bipie mu o my Ghana mu be say match busu minimum 50 ni wono no a eno ensam a jese edakrata nim ha Supreme Court nso say onim say ya benada no eno omo kwa atenase no omo kire say isi boss oba betena adwamuo na ya betoto na no no ya dansefo de ama isi ni nyina na bekwa kosi sai ene gyinasie ni nyina wo kire say ebetimi abaso nti ene wo metena se na je say bibi atimi akoyi ene ne obiri yem rim na ochese cocoa processing company ma yansa kira ya kakra no a ewo mu dwumadie mu asisi ana mu dwumadie no ekọ nkan pa omo de sika wodo no a na ema o my Ghana daily graphic da obokrata no ebo ye ho amane ene anapai mefa Ghana time da obokrata no ento aso wa hanu ma ye ma megye mensa wada anim hanu no wo hye face mask nice one pa ene ye kire se ni tirinwi no egu ne ho saa so hwe ayi a ukọ Facebook abo ne se de mi tirinwi ne gu me ho no da be pe ne ye ma megye mensa wono so ne de egu ne ho saa no wo hye ni face mask no enu wo kire se wo betkwa kwatena adwamu ni atoto na no anaza tesen no eno no enne gyinasie ni nyina be firi ayi adagefo enson no enchan ena aba eno no Ghana fo nyina yata yaso an ye pe ne yatie yaso pa asem atie ntie ene ya ye krado pa na wose ye kopie mu ewo atoye mantamu aposifo a wo hono wo mo ebo modern so manfo a wo hono no wo be kire wo pa ma kire na sene omutim ni nyina no fa COVID-19 protocols na yadi agu akwam no waja nso wo se Ghana fo na se yemu dodo na ye hada anti ase de nti omsu se ye se ye di so no the face mask no ja ne sha de me de me ho mete eno so nsem ede anim ha na won munyamfo kwakwadima menu abo ne dia yi no so mra me yesoafo nhwe apomudi ensam so no wono so akasa appointment committee no anim a wo se Ghana ai yabo modern ye hwesra ye de enuro ai no ye covid enuro no besa 355,000 no ye de ba be pie mu my Ghana mu na aboa na covid ne so ye tumi aso ano a eno no eda Ghanaian time do wokrata no animu na Ghanaian time do wokrata no animu enda de asa ma cha de ntucha mo kura o man kire kwa yemfa so nse face mask no mo de nko mo ya de pa enda de wo mo amfa ba akokura anto animu daily guide do wokrata no ena me de eto so na me de to so han mo de a wo kire se aposifo mienu gold dealer bi obi a waye ayi sika akọ nwa adwuma ene wo ma ye nubu kata de afa so makọ wia no sika eno no eye dollar 209,172 ene wo mo agide afiri ni sam a eno so wo kire se wo mo ahwehwe mu ensam wo krata yi daily guide o krata no enim ho mo de ato ha no na kwa doctor bi o mo se wono angaza em se dem nkuta license enkuta license krampo so ye ni ba bia bia wonya wono angaza na doctorate ayi ni di free ye ene yesi ene de yazo no aposifo nsa zo ani se ekua wo mo kire se nam ne nsa so ema ena ne eba bi wo matina nanom wonse do ya eno no eda daily guide o krata no anim ha no ena ebra omonyamfo abet kanda paul no so yabo ne din so omra me yesuafo ba be hwa bambo nsam so wo my Ghana mu okokwa tina appointment committee no animu no wono so ye bisa na sam de fa ho se aso eye afia bi ni aduonu afrasa mu no ayi ye bo modne se betimi age emrahye bedu etoso wotwe no atum na posifo ewura bambo adwuma yekofo asrafo body wura parliament wono eno so no na etesen woyi anu wo ho saso so na onwanyafo kwakwadima menu so wono so ye bisa ne nsam a ne o se ye grele ne papa ye grele ne ya chese ye de na hye ayi wo vi mu a chese wono angasa ne no wo fa ne ye bi wono ma na asa de ne bu ye afuo na ate afa so no na so ni nyina ya dan ya be yi ano daily guide o bokrata enimo eno no na mefa daybreak da bokrata no ento asoe daybreak da bokrata no enimo na wo kasa wo anu ma wo chese sani ebe ya na o ma fo mo wo atoye mantem wono mo Western region no wo mo betimi ate COVID-19 protocols no ase na wo mo hu de ntie sefata se wo mo bo mo ho ban de firi wono ene wo chese aposifo wo ho no ehwe so on be kire gofo no a mo ma hu de ntie wo so wo mo hye nose mask no eno so eda anim ha no ene wo se owura kanda pa so ko pie mu ewo appointment committee no anim no ene chese post ni a ene wo sibamu ayi obi wo ho no mo twa so ne baba ko ani wo so sibamu ayi soja ni ba ko wo ho no aso pese wo hyede no wo bɔ ne ho ban eno so eda daybreak da obokrata no anim ha no na daily statement da obokrata no anim no eno wo kire se Ghana man pani na Adanko Akufuado waye na adwene bɔ ne tirimu pɔ so obɛbɔ modene na 88 agenda ne nyina na ya ayasabea wodo de wɔtwe no ɛne no wabɔ mmɔden no wahwɛ sɛ wobɛsi ɛde ama ɔman Ghana na yɛapɔmuden nsɛm so no ɛhwɛ pa nso atumi akɔ nkan yie papaapa wei yɛ berɛ ɔkɔkɔ pie mu appointment committee no anim ɛwɔ mmarahyɛbadwam ne ɛtoto n'ano sɛ adwuma yɛde ba bɛhyɛ ne nsa mprenu soɔ no wobɛtumi ayɛ anaasɛ ɛte sɛn sɛ supreme court bɛgye ato mu sɛ electoral commission wɔn witness na megye mɛ sɛ wɔn bɛtena adwam ne yɛntoto n'ano sɛ abatoɔ no results wɔde ba abɔnten no ɛkɔ ne sɛn ɛyɛ nokorɛ yɛse bɛyɛ sɛ nsia ɛna wababa yɛka nti deɛ yɛn ne yɛagye ato mu no ne nyinaa no ɛna wɔkyɛ sɛ court no bɛtumi asi saa gyinaeɛ no ɛnnɛ nti yɛn nyinaa yɛata yɛaso a yɛtie sɛ neɛ yɛbɛkɔ no na kyɛ sɛ yɛn nso yɛabɔ mu de akyerɛ wɔn yɛn nyinaa nso yɛtie bi a ne yɛn ho ne yɛkɔɔyɛ daily statement dɛ wɔbɔ krataa anim no wɔse wɔn ba abɛhyɛ ase na takorade edwa kɛseɛ no a ɛno no ɛyɛ takorade market circle hɔnom no wɔn abɔ mmɔden no wɔn asan so ayɛ reconstruction ɛwɔ hɔnom a ebetumi ahyɛ aseɛ anim yiaa ɛno yɛ daily statement dɛ wɔbɔ krataa anim na mefa the chronicle dɛ wɔbɔ krataa no ɛnto so chronicle dɛ wɔbɔ krataa no anim no wɔabɔ mmɔden a wɔkyɛ sɛ ɛyɛ pemfoɔ a wɔdwane kyerɛ sɛ owuo a ne nyinaa na ɛyɛ ambulance de ne ɛkɔ ayasabea na wakɔ akɔwoɔ no ɛno nso ho asɛm no ɛda anim hanom ɛna wɔkyɛ sɛ Ghana mampani na Nana Akufo-Addo na aba MPP no 88 district hospitals no mantimi ansi a na anya bibia o ɛyɛ asasɛm ho manso twe na nkrata asɛm no nneɛma bi akeka ho ɛna ma ne delay a 88 district hospitals no Ghana mampani na Nana Akufo-Addo wantimi ama no ama so ɛwɔ afrasa mu anaasɛ na mamu a edi kan no emu ne nti ɔmbɛhwɛ na ɔmayɛ no pɛpɛɛpɛ wei ɛyɛ bra owura adwumamɛnu kɔkɔ pie mu ɛwɔ appointment committee no animu saa so ɛna owura kandapa nso kɔkɔ pie mu ɛwɔ wɔn animu no wɔn nso de tu dwa sɛ yɛnka yɛakoma mfa nto yɛn na Ghana ɛnyɛ adeɛ abasabasa yɛ bia ebetumi asi kora ɛno nso so yɛ nsɛm a ɛda daily ɛyɛ chronicle dɛ ɔbɔ krataa no animu na the new crusading guy dɛ ɔbɔ krataa na mede to aso wɔsi supreme court betumi asi gyinaeɛ de afa sɛ maa mi gye mɛnsa wɔbɛtena adwam mi adodo n'ano cross examination na ebetumi aba so anaasɛ ɛte sɛn ɛno no ɛyɛ nsɛm a ɛda krataa yɛ anim hanom na osu nananom atankwanyansa ase so ɛnso mpanyinfoɔ wɔ hɔnom ɛna wɔn ɛkasa sɛ yɛsrɛ mo yɛhia asomdwe ɛwɔ mpɔtam hanom wɔn asomdwe no ɛna ɛdi ɛwɔ hanom ɛno ɛyɛ nsɛm a ɛda hanom ɛna wɔkyerɛ sɛ ɛwɔrɔ ɛwɔrɔ akɔdwo poku ɛnso kasa wɔ se it is Bawomia's time etie nyinaa mfa kyitapa ɛmfa ɛnta n'akyi a wɔkyerɛ sɛ mfimfini mantam aposifoɔ ɛde ɛto ɛyɛ zoom lion ɛne mpanyinfoɔ ɛka bi ɛwɔ mu a wɔhwɛ se ebetumi adisinfect abobɔ gbonura ahodoɔ no a ɛwɔ mmea nkae ne sɛ nka ɛbɛyi ankɔm deɛ ɔmbɛnya ɛnka bosome mmiɛnsa biara no ɛyɛ kɔta basis no na gye sɛ wɔn aba abɛhwɛ na wɔn abɔ gbonuro no ɛwɔ wɔn hɔ a ɛno nso betumi aboa the new crusading guy dɛ ɔbɔ krataa ɛnsɛm ɛno no na the daily despite dɛ ɔbɔ krataa ɛna mede ɛɛto aso daily despite dɛ ɔbɔ krataa no ɛɛbɔ amaneɛ ɛwɔ hanom a wɔn deɛ wɔkyerɛ sɛ yɛkɔ ɛyɛ de krataa fɛ ɛtɔ so aduonu ɛnan a ɛyɛ 2020 parliamentary results no yɛbɛtumi akɔhu bi ɛwɔ hɔnom a ɛno nso yɛ nsɛm a ɛda krataa yɛ anim hanom wɔse ɛdeɛ nti ɛkwan a ɛfa so a ɛnam so nti a ɛyɛ owura jogate ɛka kyerɛ gɔfrɛ dame 2006 mu sɛ wɔbɛtumi aba abɛyɛ Ghana Attorney General dako bie no ɛno nso so yɛkɔ ne krataa anim dɔm asukɔ a wɔse yɛbɛkɔ akɔhu ne nyinaa ɛwɔ hɔnom na COVID-19 sɛnea yɛbɛboa no yɛtumi ako ne kuo ne nyinaa no ɛna wɔkyerɛ sɛ zoom lion wɔn abɔ mmɔden ama saa bere wɔn abobɔ gbonura ahodoɔ no a ɛwɔ ɛyɛ police stations ahodoɔ a ɛwɔ Framantam Volta region bɛyɛ sɛ 51 police stations ɛna wɔn abobɔ gbonura no wɔ hɔnom a daily despite dɛ ɔbɔ krataa no ɛka ɛho asɛm a wei so ɛna yɛgyina na yɛde dɛ ɔbɔ nkrataa ɛbɛ adwama soɔ no anim mu bɔ soɔ no nyinaa no ɛde esie kwasi ɛtoa so wie a na afei yaba bɛdɔ sokɔ ɛde awura mu na yɛatoa ɛso.
May I say front pages of the newspapers near the Abraham pay need 100 points na Ghana Montie media sunu aso go na ye be call man so na ye ni ye owura Adam Bona or chief executive officer sorry mo fan Germany chief executive officer security warehouse and security analyst as well so ye ni no ba be di hey anope hey ba mo ntwem
Ghana Montie
No, I'm saying pay me here this way. I'm from by. Modem from Brana in Fanham Hafa. Yeah, but come on, say ni ora Adam Bona send them di kan no. Or your security analyst near no Eddie Nkomo. But before me ni ora Adam Bona Bedin Nkomo no. Ni bi hon man bese me bo. Ora Adam Bona pa to me kan mo akwa baba ni TFM so.
Me so me chia.
Any day more before you be share nkomo na se no enra say odin kura ko pie wo vetting mu bra mrashe bejani ba ko honorable Al Hassan Suhini ebusa nsem na mame money no na etiefo bia monte na memra ye ni nkomo bra ora kanda pa minister designated national security or call ye for vetting no yentie ni na memra ne yen share nkomo na se anapay
before your nomination and after your nomination. A number of security analysts, or call them security commentators, have stated their opinion to the effect that they do not think you deserve the renomination. One, Adib Sani, Adam Bona, Patrick, and others. I have all the statements that they have all issued. Some described you as inefficient, incompetent, not fit for the national security appointment. Others, use other captions to suggest that you should not hold that position. They gave reasons bordering on increased militarization of internal security, the happenings in Ayawaso, West Wagon, and other well-known indiscretions, Ghana's poor performance on the World Press Freedom Index, for example, the murder of Ahmed Saleh, and the bizarre way he was murdered, and also the torture of some Ghana web journalists, what's the name? Ajafo, the editor of the Ghana web, and others. What do you have to say? Despite all of this, what do you have to say in defense of your renomination in the face of all of these observations?
Honorable Chairman, the beauty of the democracy that we have is that people are entitled to their views, and who am I to disagree with them? But with all due respect, all the names that you mentioned, they say they are security experts. As within the security community, what makes them experts? Honorable Chairman, somebody has today written, none of the security experts. The security experts are known as Honorable Agalga. He will just give you the names of security experts in Ghana and ask him whether these are part of it. One of the people you are talking, Honorable Chairman, has today published that Kandapal should not be given the nod. He has not been able to solve the kidnapping and murder of the three kidnapped in the Takoradi. How unfair. You should know, Honorable Chairman, how we managed to get the people who did it. They've gone through the court process. And on March 15th, or on March 5th, judgment is going to be given. What else can we do? We know the people who committed the crime. We've been able to apprehend them. They've gone through a court system. The court is going to give a judgment on the 5th. I don't know what way it will go, but of course I followed the proceedings while it was in court, and I have my own thinking of how it will go. Why don't you wait for the judgment to come before you make such a conclusion? To say that Kandapal should not be made a minister for security because of what happened at Takoradi with the murder of the girls, that is going too far. Right. Some of them also come up with stories that say he's been at that position for so many years. He's not been able to produce a national security strategy. Senior, we have it. So the sort of things that they write, and I give you an advice. In the work that we do, you must not always scare the critics. Criticism is the unpaid consultancy, the consultancy that you don't pay for. So let's accept it. In the quiet of your bedroom, read it. If it is useful, take it. If it is not useful, you don't take it. All the things that they've written about me, it's neither here nor there. Some also write to say that he's taking the fear out of national security. Oh my God, is this a crime? He's taking the fear out of national security.
Chairman, maybe to be fair, I listed a number of them.
Yes.
Increase ayawaso, increased militarization of internal security, indiscretions, Ghana's poor performance on the World Press Freedom Index. These, for me, seem more substantive than those you are speaking to.
Okay, all right. So, and some say is me born tofa kakra na matiasia emrasebe yeni alasan suhini na nsema no busa ye urakan dapa habekan dapa ne se empenifo bi awa Ghana hanom sia from security analyst. In fact, ono kra de okasom ye security commentators emrasebe yeni sana o describe omo na sam penifo a ura Adam Bona ogina homan so eni ba be din komo e ka hom nini nuanu bi so called security analyst and experts no ake kan sem bi afa no ho se ono kra na dwuma di a odi ye mfie na baba sinko ye nheda enso ani niam bebre wo honom si on momodin kra anhwe nsisi ano efa na ye national security ho nsensem tie be ya opani die enka saa di bre no ense emfata so yanko na ye ni Adam Bona me mana kwa babio na ye nhye nkomo na se me ma kwa ba Adam Bona. Okay. So what year aya no me sure said no uhwe bi ehwe sane sikoye but my main chance here free hanom say so we security analyst, security expert, security commentator sana ya mo ankasa mo hum
for us we are analysts. I am a practitioner, so rightly so. My colleagues in the industry, we are analysts. So you would have just like you can say someone who either work in the maybe environmental space will be engaged in analysis of issues to do with the environment, working to do so. We are analysts, but you could loosely also refer to us as experts. If you say someone is an expert, it's a loose way of probably referring to an analyst as an expert. So, acceptable. Commentators, yes, you should have. We can say we name the area now. It should be substantial to even comment in that area. So, rightly so. Obi submit to me and refer to us as commentators because Ubisa Mesepia, the Uko police station, and now say it be up advice with regards to security. I should be able to give you and answer any of my colleagues. And sometimes say maybe to a free. Maybe another place will be a very risk assessment with regards to certain area that crime now they are there. Yes, these are some of the things any analyst would give the human or to me. So the work cuts across bamboo, safety, security, it cuts across here. So any of it. Commentators, analysts, experts,
well, so before you be verti and before now be verti openi meaning in some be am say na making kan ya meti say be awaka and say now say sir sex video be a buy for rack and pa ho now we him say at least members of the appointment committee be bisa be afa ho ne kaka ho. But utie and semana ekoso veti and exchanges no na kwakwa say mumu bi ho no msia make kan sem bia nsem fata afa ye openi ho atim yes ne bu anju so apart from say asem ya making e bia o kan bibi fa no ho ana wo kai say yes, to send you no okay, so will be all cross here. Ultimate solve the three takrade kidnap girls in Tianuti. Ma the brand on self fatani ya kaka hui. Dia na okay say be a kafano who before even vetting.
Oh, you can't say, I'm one of the fiercest critics of your country, Honorable Kandapa. Obviously, if I am not able to, you can't say, praise or criticize, when you phone us, or mine or if I am, if I claim to be someone who be a or Bible, if I cannot analyze or make and either speak to them on the quiet or kind of say speak to them publicly sometimes when they fail to listen. And Kandapa is somebody who he's had occasion to call me to say I haven't been fair to him, and I told him, well, not that I haven't been fair to you. I didn't say you were an ugly man. I didn't say you were short or you were tall or you were this. I only deal with the work that has been commanded action. And I have had occasion to speak to you about, and I've had one or two meetings with him, and so it's a piece now. It has to do with Neduma Oye. And so the Okain, I've had occasion to talk about them. The sexting, I've had occasion to talk about the Democratic kidnap girls. I've had occasion to talk about robberies, assault, murders. The now I've had occasion to talk about all of them. And I will continue to talk about them until such a time that Jumana or mine Yaman Penny, I am still hoping that Parliament will not approve him. But if he goes through, because I can only talk about it. But if a man is said Parliament approves him, we'll continue to work, and it will have nothing to do with the personality. So you might know you'll be the first person to praise him. But when you as a taxpayer, and I don't want to say my commentary on the kind of financial issues. I'm not the financial analyst. And so when you get money here, meant to me for criticizing Minister of Finance, and now say, it's him I'm going to deal with. So as far as I'm concerned, the issue to do with the Takrade missing girls, he's just lost it. Kandapa is not, Parliament should not approve it. You know what? I said.
And you can't be
Yes, I said it.
Okay.
I said Parliament should not approve it. Before the infamous, we know where the girls are, Saga. A national security operative has been sent to Nigeria. And I am telling you, and I'm privy to whatever took place before that gentleman left for Nigeria. It was on the side free Nigeria by. And now, information, the report, and a kind of report. You can say whatever the gentleman brought, what did they do? The president relieved the gentleman of his position on national security. That was the end of it. And I thought that was, not the best. That shouldn't have been the case. People should have been answerable. Because to have sent him there and came to raise our hopes, they found the girls. And eventually it was rather the other way around. And we found missing bones. One cannot say apprehending the suspect and the suspect being put before court. Because of that, we should praise you. Not at all. Your work is to prevent these crimes from happening. And I have mentioned the fact that you stand for the sex tape in there. You see, for me, I will not even want to dwell too much on that because they say, show me Nipa Bakwa, and I say, Nipa, as I see with your own bonnet. So I will not even want to dwell on that.
But question me, who saw much the Bisano?
Yes, but they're telling me, I do believe that the appointment committee for they understand the same. We are all sinners, and therefore, maybe for me, they didn't ask. It's okay, but they should have asked him though if they didn't ask. probably that could have also made us know how it happened, because as the national security minister, he should have known that Nipana or recorded and Ankasa was using a third party device to record him. It was not that there was no sophistication in the said you order recorded. Why you recorded it? Mine is that show me one person on here about that. And so after that I'll leave that. But I'm talking about his professional competence.
Okay.
His professional competence, I want to dwell on that.
Okay.
Armed robbery cases have gone up. It is unprecedented. Can you count the number of police officers who have been killed in line of duty? Can you count how many people have been robbed? Highway robberies. Do you know how many people are coming under attack? Bank robberies are going up and up. It is under his administration that, and now you can say, police officers are are you aware that they are due for 2.5 months training? They are even proficiency training. University of Ghana to go and do language proficiency. It is more than 2.5 months. Police officers who are going to deploy some boy mobile, they are doing 2.5 months. The public doesn't actually even know about this. So if Kandapa gets approved, some of us will be highly disappointed. In the first place, yes, on my opinion, on the Atwamano.
And but okay, on my opinion,
but I think Parliament can actually do all of us a favor by not approving Kandapa's nomination.
Okay, my opinion. I mean, Utie Bravo in 70 Biano, say Ra Halasan, Suhini Busanon. Okay, say what you share for Bakwa. At least acha na nubian wo shia ni employer, and by employer no I want to understand say bia o mampani asem no oka no, because say o mampani na di adwuma na chair nsa enti o ka na employer na say menti asem no kwa o mampani, and o kan esi su say o mampani free sen kai bi adwuma no o mo no homodi anka on san kura nso ensan mo ni din biom so on san ma meye so for hwe national security ni e ka ho eno no say na te wo.
Oh, well, you see, for me, President said, you know, why, but the only thing I can say is that being a president in a country, it's very difficult, because just imagine so many MPP supporters who would want to, financiers who want to be appointed, but I would say, Usha Onankasa very contradictory. When this sort of almost beside the question about militarization and sending officers to the voter region. On one I know Kai and then say, your man penny that when you're the baby called JJ Rollins, a friend of Baba Catcher. And I run and beside to say, I think, and I soldier for a voter region. And also a church or man penny data or church the movie, and no man penny beside to say. And then, first explanation we mark to me before. And who can we read that? So, you can't say, you brief your employer. What are you talking about? So, we realize that the last 4 years, the defense minister almost became, you can't say, the spokesperson for the security sector. When officers were sent there, the defense minister is not the one who's supposed to be talking about these things, but unfortunately, maybe he had the whatever it takes to talk.
But is it not because a soldier for one more hunting and maybe a defense minister?
You see, the defense minister is in charge of the military. When any internal deployment will go on, a request is made to the defense minister. So whoever made the request is supposed to there are certain structures that I say Nipana request they can say voter region as for so and voter region. This is internal security. And internal security, security can the national security your work is to coordinate and so definitely if you force our pick intelligence that will voter region some secessionist movement to be ever come and yet more free you can't say Nigeria not to assure your son it's a direct military deployment. deployment. You see, direct military deployment, and yet even the defense minister who does it. It is usually the president. I mean, that is why it's called the commander-in-chief. But about the internal security, even though the law says the president, through an executive instrument, would have to, deploy the military, there is a way, a convention that is used in doing it. And so if you have informed the defense minister, say, yeah, now defense is one of CDA, Aqua, the former, if you inform the CDA, you definitely to go to defense minister. But whoever made the request, you have, you all Ghanaians, young Ghanaians, you're kind of saying, some explanation, say, yeah. Have you heard him speak about this? No. And so maybe the other say, he will one way say I'm briefing my employer and contradicting himself by saying that the former president asked him, why are you not talking to Ghanaians? And so maybe the other say, you see, for a national security minister to go for what's the name? An appointment committee to go to be, vetted. And they ask you such a question, and emotionally you become vexed. Emotionally you become shy. Until some will be answering that question. He was cool. He was answering the question. But when that question was asked of him, then he went into rage and started, denigrating. And you see, mine is that we will stay focused. The point is that, I would say, I would have no things to describe him apart from saying that he's professionally the most incompetent national security minister we have ever had in this country. Go and take the Ghana Police's own records. Let the crime records. And you know the sign can say one of your colleagues are national security for our coastal no Mochero They can say the laptop and what right do they have? Court then right. You need for you to take someone's communication gadget, you need the court's approval to keep those. Have they returned it to the guy? No. And so you see, I have to be honest with you. As far as I'm concerned, Kandapa, if you look at how he became vexed, and I know where that vexation, why that anger came, because he feels that, even when he's not doing well, we should continue to praise him. And I think that for him to have gone into it, I will not be emotional about it.
I see.
He will
Adam,
stop us from talking.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. If he does, we will talk.
Okay. Okay. Yabaka saka kraka ho na so general ni nsembisa bia members no ebusa ye senate office ye so mu busa questions dodo na bia na edam akoma so amohwe nim se bia mpanifo bebusa na no yi ode ma ye no ensesa amadwen won se ne ofisi ka se de na se otimi se Sela no hunu se as you describe the most incompetent national security minister ever chese antimi asesa madwen so okay opini yes omo man no omo passing na obebo ejuma.
Well, you see, I would forgive the appointment committee because let me say Dudwana and Shada Anya research Dudwana and Shada Anga that data in the area of security and so, well, I'm sure they had a lot of things to do. So maybe, but data. In fact, data doesn't support the Iraq and the power.
So, bare 4 hours, 25 minutes, I said almost 5 hours. No questions on beside now. If he said it wasn't enough in terms of security.
No, this way, you see, let me be very honest with you. What's the name? You see, listen, you are a national security officer. You said you have solved every high-profile murder. And I was surprised there was no follow-up question. I was surprised there was no follow-up question to that. Which of them have you solved? Is it the only example we gave was the kind of saying the temporary missing girls? I mean, the only example we gave. And so I am surprised and then the other example he gave again was Ahmed Swale. The point is that if you are a national security minister, you have a kind of saying this woman who was killed at the port. You have what's the name? This MP who got shot in the central region.
Watch it down there. Okay. Central region.
Killed. Then the list is unending. You have police officers who have been killed. They should have asked him that as a national security minister. Under his reign, police officers' salaries were adjusted. And the IGP went on air to say, the police officer's salary is come to remain. Almost immediately after the elections, that adjustment was taken off. We see, my point is that almost research they ask him leading questions. And when you are asked leading questions, most of the questions were leading questions. You see, he came up and said he has a strategic document. If you go on, you will realize how much some of us have pushed for this strategic or national security policy. But you see, when he said he had that strategic document, I felt that if our appointment committee, research, how much is this strategic document going to cost us? It's not the cost of putting it together. As a security analyst, if you want to call me expert, fine. A national security policy or strategic document must have a budget that accompanies it. If it's a 5-year strategic document, long term, 5, 10, or 15 years, every year it must undergo review. You say highway robberies. Highway robberies, this is the strategy we are going to put in place. And the strategy must always come with cost. And so tell me, a strategy, you say you have a strategy, and that strategy you didn't mention cost. And so most of the questions will be Samia, even though they spent a lot of time with him, you realize that most of the questions were leading questions that things that because the technical ones some of us were expecting him to answer. He couldn't answer. They should have asked him. We have a lot of retired and tired police commissioners who are occupying various positions. Okay? They should ask him that. Why is it that in an unprecedented fashion, we have so many retired police commissioners who are still occupying very important positions? Retired, or you have one more contract. And so this, we don't have to be. I was hoping that research because as a national security minister, when human say collecting information, analyze information, you can appropriately, because for him to have even said that he advises the president briefly or sees his employer, if he was doing his work diligently, he would have known that in the police service, as we speak today, a lot of officers are not happy because they feel that, you know what, and you can see when officers are not happy, it trickles down. You see that crime rate begins to go up. Things just don't go right. Maybe the anything. As far as I'm concerned, if he was briefing the president right, he would let the president know that, President, you are the one who make recommendations. Recommendations are sent to you before an assistant commissioner of police, deputy commissioner, commissioner of police are supposed to be, appointed. So I think that for those who have retired, please, let's not give them contract. Or when we give them contract, they should not stay at the same position. Let's move them to a place that those who are still in active service will be put to. You haven't been able to do all this. So if he tells me, is it not under his reign that the military instructor, physical instructor, was beaten in Ashama before the elections? These are the questions I was expecting them to ask him under his reign. And so maybe the NSA, national security has become, a very notorious paramilitary, state agency. They now are carrying weapons. They seem to have an armory. This is not the mandate of the national security. I was expecting them to ask him, well, maybe the NSA, as an analyst or call me expert, the questions that made me hope and say, what is the ratio between police and the citizens? What advice has he given to the president with regards to increasing the numbers? Where a lot of crimes are taking place. You have one police officer to about 2,500 citizens. Go to Ashama, about one police officer to about 2,500 citizens. Go to Kumasi, Ashanti region, there are west. Ashanti region is west because the population in Ashanti region is so huge as compared to you can send the police in the Ashanti region. So if you notice, a lot of crimes are happening in the Ashanti region. Now, Command Bishan is saying, what are you doing in some of our overpopulated communities with regards to policing? And some Bishan questions really now. And so me, I was hoping that they would ask him more direct technical questions as a national security minister. Because you see, as a national security minister, your work is policy. You need a technician, like I said, technicians are the technocrats to advise you, to tell you ABCD because you don't go to the field. But unfortunately, the questions for me, well, we now are doing so it is our time to do ours. And I believe it's more than a year.
Okay, you better see on pay you mean shop around Bona. Security analyst, security expert, chief executive officer, my security warehouse. And I pay no one here didn't come on. No, I say it's call vetting of Albert Kandapa.
The invasion of parliament. You say it was the decision of a commander who has come under investigation. Can you give us the name of that commander?
For sure, I don't quite remember the name of the commander. I can find it out for you, but I don't have it here. But I thought, Honorable Chairman, I thought you were going to start by recognizing that I'm your father, and that under normal circumstances, you should not even sit here and be asking me questions. He's my son.
I can confirm that the nominee has known me since my childhood days, growing up in Dansuman, but the Son of Man must do his job. So the honorable nominee will have to come with me as I focus on two deployments that happened under his watch as National Security Minister. The first one was during the registration of voters, which created considerable confusion. Some persons in government said that the deployment had to do with COVID, preventing the importation through our land borders in my region, the Volta region. Others said it was to prevent foreigners, Togolese, Beninois, from coming into Ghana to vote. It appears the defense minister later on put out what he said is the official government position, that it had to do with COVID-19. I hold in my hands now the COVID-19 daily situational report from the Volta Regional Health Directorate.
Okay, so Honorable Kujeto a black one and Obisa Sem, but my engineer and also Kakrana, Minko so Professor Iyao Ransford Jampo, political science lecturer, head of Youth Bridge Research Institute, and paying any prof in Komokakra, send ye see call ye and ra and penny form ye nui. One more appointment committee and him one more vetting on. Prof, that's more about need FM so.
Yeah.
Well, so Prof, young share bear said don't really be do say be out breaking to specifics problem said Uraku Kwajima menu minister designate for health in your bed don't be 90 maybe do 9 Rak Albert Kandapa no so toss benya be don't hear be 90 bears maybe do no enum ti usha don't hear enum na penfo emi enum ti ukan ina bo medu penfo bisa wo monsem anu ye Senate in terms of ABA and Sembisa senior members no of the appointment committee bisa anu ye and penfo de ma yen sase mfi owura kwaku adwuma menu so Pesi ABOAGYE ni
Pesi ABOAGYE me who is sure so person would give me imagine.
Prof, I don't know bisa sir.
I want to find out because as a more network gradually if you know so host will be so bar now who are doing that who are opinionated about an issue you need no guest so person who interview here not what in a you must learn to be civil so be the util na sin kind then edisan na obi so bi agent ra on kan na wo so abanta on kan na wo so abanta and ya ko na ni adefu so de enkoya discussing wo panko ni ase and this was not video na wo banta obi a wa friend second sa person or ade wo be bisa no mu asem and na ade bi cause one of your next some so okay from sia popo na also start program no many ande ho I had to just walk away now me feel say in three years it may can I'm putting it on record. I take serious exception. Host or your host, the person must be decent. And so, who need to man? So, who friend guest who ye I'm a guest to know as reviews to back. So, yes, I say, who follow up questions. What be son? And so, who say, or turn out they're not what can see the thought or can't know what I believe I cannot. You're drawn to her, yet, say, I drink. And so, who can get it thought now at the end of the day when my Lipano acquire, I didn't acquire the baby. I'm saying it. This is the only opportunity for me. So yesterday, I had to just hang up. Not meaning you.
Okay.
I have to. And that's what happened.
Okay.
And I'm beside the open say, "Dear Margin, so dear Margin, there, Mr. And Yamini, of course, and Rally."
Okay. Prof, near the kind where they made Jaminia a Fiapukia and name any despite me, about your prof. Prof.
And I know,
yeah, prof.
Opinions, not the one year. You don't need a guest.
Prof.
But if you bring a guest, maybe and I will be some magic. And it's a man cancer, Jim and Lucy Bonia, and not say, or Jim may cancel me or Jim and Lucy, or money can come and be treated. Such a person, no, I think where I would deteriorate. Now, yes, I'm right. Who my interest to not for an impossible. I'm saying it, I take you something to it.
So, Niana Mekane said, Major Fiapokia name, any despite media, no idea medical padia, a Jumano, a Todebia, Etimi Banesa, but with your fache, say Miniano, so from ya, and me assure same paid for Nenbe Casana next time, no be an interview, no, and Cosa, and me assure say, Abia won't kai way, Yeni Dikaya, Mini Woodin Commonier, and T. Debia, me assure says Abia, so be kai padia, me ma crime out to me counsem. In Tibia BB says, ya. Me assure say would be chair na yako ansam so na okay
na what now so we penny or also a big cabaret ya program start
Mate yeah that's papa so asembisa no ene say ya sha se fi wura kwekwa adwuma me nu so be don hwe be num empanifo no asembusa teach you yade a say bia o ka say wow yeah assessment na yes questions are when we say you know emu edu where your questions are na bia dagana for akoma so metumi busa nsem no anu ye no so e ba ye no sen na na etie ne di kan owura kwaku adwuma me no
no me that say vaccine there democracy one of the mechanisms are the assistant atwa ebema parliament mbase bedwa ebe play their role as countervailing authority in the powers of the executive president. That's a countervailing authority. As I said, as I said, to me, a chat to me, that gave you, I think, it will chat that in every democratic dispensation. And Kobasa, not a Dibia, Unipa Bako, now Obi to me, Kabia. Now, and no, and my democracy, we went back to obey a dictator. Oh, power corrupt, absolute power corrupt, absolutely. You know, the ambassador, yes, or Mampinia, to media or exercise, or baby piano, as I said, old Tassan, only to the you know, as a skin, another power, or Mampinia didn't be able to do, and Sana, another, and Sana, or didn't see Baby Pigano, or more for parliament, a parliament of Bubu, not say a ya, or my bonabas say, and young to almost in Yakajan said there be a new yam bao and Pagma. It is also any dinner what I say, or Mampini a partner say a four. Esan senyo no kwa na odi tumi ewo man no so pa na so apo as I say yen ye ti me fo no o ma ye kwan ama ye hwese asiafo no obo ye na ombetumi aye duma no ye na ese approve na we do so ye ese duma no ye de nam ye mra se megwafo so ele ese duma no into no every presidential nominee no for ministry appointment must undergo vetting. And it's in a who senior not generally. Because I'm saying about the quad my men on the other. As I say, yeah, now only back who be 4 hours to be back 4 hours, not back 24 or 5 hours, not to 4. We share the number of ministers I appoint them to here. Now 4 hours roughly on the average 4 hours a day. And then the Ben you ever bet your movie, now the Ben are buying you government business ever say as yet. Let's say members of the appointment committee, your ministers are the issue. Obi won kwa minim kwesi minim so akọ interview da akọ interview with ade bi da ma ya bra na me so ayi no na meka every day every interview panel bi o mo constitute na meka ho na eto de bi a obi won ho a odu ayi your friend say interview ne mo no panel ne mo no who be stand question back who mienu one sha miensa sanya obeti answer fa no intuitively, what to me fair, only to bet my human. Or no, but then for the spend the 1 hour. And you said you look me like 15 minutes just to call. Now, after the big crowd, we try a car on Companero, my post, and Parusuno, the Pacono, and Paris, you bet you are. At the map, it's no question back. Number one, you want to be sure, said, or you're familiar with area in that corner. Number two, only the challenges in that area. Number three, whether the person has what it takes and to deal with the challenges within the sector, all tiny aliens, and kind of by a name maybe I would test the emotional intelligence and tolerance level. That clearly now, when Mama Nedano, but we are present. Obi a person obi sa question. Na ni an ha me ka challenge say obi o ba question na obi sa no. Ye visa de da emma ni pa ko no domini na answer. And so it sounds like what you are doing by all this obi sa na. At the end of the day now because we will see on time. You know
but prof what's back could be our kind me musa say bia adwuma anhwe ya ombetimi aveti omu nyina awie metwe adwen aba so timetable on the ababa to janti enra say no empenfo mienu pe honorable Kwakwajima menu any ura kandapa now ya we say no Dominic Nitiwu any Dr. Ya Osedu to at least pe omo timetable no enti utimi say omo so omo hye no I say omo de bibia to de bia nipa eno no fi say enya ade a uhu ni say ebe bua mo mu betimi
before say government business no must comment abandon so on my timetable on the about all right but you see you investing one approve one na so far where you man no na akoye bi because you are substantive militant me we say in the way na ya and so almost parliament plenary and parliament and kasa ma approve no so nyam mai yeah be 4 hours e bedu na in e be and she we parliament and kasa after approve and I say this me feel say e better incumbent me as a person na ya for foreign someone only one na on one kasa answer to be of a mantino na e be ma interview no accept but it should not be necessarily say necessary say it's a yampanyo bia obi aba so di 4 hours or not the 30 minutes we shall na so bet me ayi dwuma na no ma omoja no price na yeba owura akuku adima menu antono before say generally questions now mo bisa no any answers or the mind generally no before say oyade questions no were spot on also Emma the response I say Oma it's up to parliament say vetting committee no somebody determine say even though me before say oyade no somebody determine say I'm packed for my answers papa and also my answers papa maybe back one now me before say the person between in Nayaji is the fact that all Catano, they do be no, also one bread, that on man time, Catana, on farm, minimum Tokaya. A honor next imagine now the practice here, air force to Africa and also in Ghana. Oh, not my dinner. I mean, clearly, Papa no, why you telling me? Well, me be saying on say, inti, obetun ye wa, what die, what health issues move. You bet to me, I don't know, I am health minister. And I said, in terms of political appointments, must we always give appointment to one or more appointment? In political side, the kind of gerontocracy. Well, generally, the people who have, but Onipa edited, where did 35, where did 40, where did 45, and where did 50, and both say, oh, yeah, Najimun Noy, in young chain, Lemon Bra, where did 60, where did 70, when you're BP, the diabetes, when you're frustrated on the anchor. Esenka mumano ehwe ne ho yare na fe otre fiehwe ne nananum na odiyo mani na oye sa na ema wo ni tere na tefo sa bre no na ya ye pese kokukuru tumi kese anase ashe sm kese bi adresi alipa no na essence how tumi bi ensi ye denti onipa no so onhwe ne health so no so ya akodi asra ntini na aka ho na ese de bia na ye wu ntem because that's your honor. In your man, a woman, a year as so. Now, to a certain age, oh, say, President, yeah, the Ghana, you're not the president, no man, already 93 years black. You are the money for 1990. Yeah. I didn't really not do for a year ago. You know, let me can generally say, Mama, young check the aristocratic posture and mindset of our aristocratic posture and mindset. Say, the young farmer of one of any upgrade. No, you see, or mind is soon corner. They also do not downplay their own culture. Osha, your culture, Muno. Say, you see here, what you say, I can't say, you say, the war here or not of the culture. And sorry about war here and not of the culture. I've been funny and been informed. Normally, Council of Elders, Ubesha. Yeah, for Bible, and I be a man, it will be a with your henny, no, 8 years. Will be a fun or henny, now with 10 years, they build 15 years, they build 20 years. Now, it's out of 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. How did they govern to succeed? They governed to succeed because they had council of elders. I want no money out for them. Now, any experience here. Almost as soon as young and free air, etna. It's not young, it's an important one in here, and more young son or more was your womb. Lemon, almost young and important. Not now, much less I say, where anything. And to say, you need wood, yes, to start them on the cattle and now the Tory. One of the reasons why Ohine got his food was his failure to listen to the advice of the Council of Elders. Oh, the Osha, it's not here, Ohine. Yes, the Obonika, they look at physique and manliness. Here from Abrane, and it says, if you are Akokra and Pudine, and it says, Ohine no, Onuna obeyed the local as a company, the Akosa. It says, while we are there. Oh, you have to buy a manual ceremony as a partner. Appointments not quite generally. Main cassette, Sabe, I opinion is in the Mayan Fatimi and let's have a blend so that one and we are day now, let's do to me. Can you don't bet dinano? And one year day now, so on one yet, the only experience. As the way I bought. Support to I support them and governance at the position. No way, now the person.
Okay.
Number 2.
Before I question the problem, we saw be kakra. Bra now can bre ho asemi question back by we say wa bra na no kra dan no so ke upa bisa me yire say ma bra na no di komodie bebre aba bi bisa say na Ghana de tore bi ase na esi ya niamai why na call interview what they na yire ensu di na chi e de call because this is more like an interview sort of minim nia hunu because e bi ka say nti adentina sa vetin we say because of COVID-19 wɔmate nipa dodoɔ ebi a wobɛtumi die mu die echi nkan no ahemfo mpanyinfo bebree mu na atumi wura den ba na deɛ covid no nti any social distancing no ɔma nipa dodoɔ no ba ne yere ti n'akyi na ebi ka sɛ na yere nti bɛwa ne sɛ adwuma wɔ yi a chief director ne mpanyinfoɔ technical advisors ɔmo wɔ hɔnom sei yɛmfo ɔmo nkɔ na yere ɔno adwuma wɔ yɛ bi ɛno akɔ akɔtena no ɛno ate wo sɛn
Sebia, ne yere bɔ ne ti dɔm. Ade ayi obiara ne sɛnea ɔne ne wɔkafoɔ ɛte. Ebia obi wɔ hɔ a ne yere ti ne ti a na ɛbɛn mu no ba mo osiri ɛma mo ansa. But generally no yɛlim sɛ obi ɛnkɔ interview a ɔde ne yere ti ne ti. But ɛsi emu sɛ parliamentary version no so it's a bit yɛn the way a yɛayɛ no no. Yamana is a bit different from interviews. Oh, once a cannon no polo, or the one can you respect to be or the chrome or Cofa STC, and the chrome on him pompa at him and him pass at him, the crew not for in ask him, or when I have a vetting committee and the one kind. That's about the Abba, a more grow and another for a beginning. The first thing in a woman, Sunny Alcano. The ambassador who called vetting this and now. Maybe only or more I eat to my chimono. And now Nipa me Nubia, a bit me do it now. But Papa no so means you have with him, and you know, I know the Anka, young Pantel, but generally, no, my point is that we should rethink our gerontocratic mindset. And yes, and you give the necessary. And Sonny have my appointment. You could see ABOAGYE, which you never be broken to me, which me I have Ghana beyond South Radio. So, over young powder, this was 70. If we are all here on Hona, just at the what from by all day, no, one of the attack can be ever shroud. One more, and also one more day into me and support her. But
do you think sir we've done enough? I mean, youth to say we had Youth Bridge Research Institute. Have we done enough, sir? Yes, it we are who sound on your penny didi. You and sound who enough, or is it the case? Near you who are gonna say, I say you who and sound who into the brand crime passed by my sign. I didn't show honum.
A baby just to perpetuate themselves in appointed positions. Well, sir, a basse, young determined near Obetumi Edi in the president there. Yes, where the 18 years there, Obetumi Obetumi Edi determined near president. So, Opia Edi to me 7 stars. Now, obey control your activities. Now, you see a destiny national and say, obey whom young son, obey Trent Aging about obey choosing obey your president. But at ever, I'm very woman, dear, there's no obey in young son. If the obey young son, if the young person is wise enough to determine who my governor, then he should also be wise enough to be able to govern. Oh, now about the young corporate to media, yes, when I'm on quiet and in my young government, no, you see, a woman, a politicians now, no more than Mebuno, someone, I'm not Mebuno to say, come once a month after the wedding, the way food to them. But they are in Mebuno, or what, or more so, or more near food to that. Tell me a baboon, media to pattern, media food to that. Well, the boom they were what? Almost to know they've been able to study their mature, their reasonable. It bet to me, I'm more fine, but also or my stable or minor. I will obey. Now, you said that in our general. Obi a sabi one go school. You don't could be a class of vocabulary and not to compose adwin apostle. No, the youth no homogeneous. Well, they are a heterogeneous age cohort. If you know ideas to trust them, no, if you trust them for Mudi, no, find a deal with you, and your politicians none of them manipulate you. A son said, if you man or win me until or 2 years, man, now work of fun. The Branarian found could you trust them. Now, finally, you could be a trust the veterans on to come in on only you might, or for your year. I pay your cut, Yama, you know, now we see we don't be on mature or move now who cause them or mind or seven or sin who even in the boom it to bleed the death if future if bleak if the future belongs to the youth must be prepared now for the future. Now they are got that yeah more to me now or more for you if any for mistake maybe mistake if any for me corrupt and maybe to me corrupt I see a more chance now almost to say no more mistake no more mature Shebra as the role is ever a president Shebra did for any first appointment Shebra Kwame Nkrumah every year the leader of government business how many are not young people it's about the same and it's if I'm so sometimes I know the and to say yes so yes young people no it's me let us show a clear way now omuyen futua mpenimpom correct sa into the look how they used to be a white one minority leader bra o say kete choku the job black one mu na me try na dey we make your na ha be bia wa ebeki it's no umma kwan ya they will grow to become mature leaders.
Okay. Yansha ora abekandapa na infan common fancy also in terms of performance questions are call security issues ni send you no some security aspects analyst how much from margin se papa dia wa mo adwuma enti om kra de om me yemfa asafo dibre no kra fa ma na ne kaka ho enra otumi e baaye say one month homodin and few nine yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, me the margin me so say oh yeah, the margin me so say obon homodin.
Okay.
Now I think generally it's me see also fight some command over the issues that the ebisano after so no we share the responses are the mind confidence or articulate why a juma with within the last 4 years and then I think for the first now it's just share some of the kind now my dream on actually be minimum obia of friend on security analyst I would come be a massive on security for no the best national security minister no nejuma oyeno eso de bia ye and the fact is say ye hu ejuma omoyeno na ye for say omonya say national security minister na we ejuma wo ye nyina na e da bonti no bi hu a in my view na no kwa say onya ade but national security ejuma na ene eye service ejuma ene ejuma konfo ya ye de betuja ye kwaya say na ye de abetuja there be most of times no mo ejuma no e behind the scenes and konfo be planning so mo be ye cool and konfo be planning say omo be ji security am na de for omo ofan ya omo fa e kwala sa ne ma na me ne wo ye hu and when na asunje wo man no so na bia na for say omo ti omo ye se na de for omo ejuma no enya de ye bono ye this year apampa so e ko bon de ro say national security yes national security yes yo na bi yes I know ejuma na say instead wo shut of the moon in this one there and you baby okasa ya eno no me na anya ade yes na okasa ya but you say odoji question bi wo ho na sa kwa baby area no odoji and me dey ehiame pa na me pese a national conversation it has to do with the deployment of soldiers for you use of my bodyguard soldier for how be ko baby na amanfo bi edi omo omo fi soldier for obehwe na minister enantia na waje the bag ekura enate for no soldier ni pe ni bi ekasai and a police ni pe ni bi so akasa say anything wrong so they need to work at the minister back the Ukraine in the first place. The Okita side arm, not the OB attacking minister. Now Okita on the back and Okita in the bay. Over then we use the side arm on it. Over then we use it. Okita minister power. Okita minister back. Okita one, as soldier for they are supposed to defend the territorial integrity of Ghana, of every country. Well, the Omono, they are training, they are supposed to be eliminating enemies. So they need to enter through. There will be here at this time, to access through 7 years. So they need Ogu or Town or Tito Puno. And to say what they so they need ever civilian body politics on the board by Nasifwa. At any point in time, we say danger be or to on there or the Campodaca or the South body or to can you train your home now? So you do more under preference civilian activities. It's any acquaintance. Open would let the wood or be your guide or bodyguard on the to me. The ministry, and said that I'm going to a police propaganda. Now we a minister to create him now I saw the Nina a baby, I said on the bagad. People say, enjoy you see and check. Nothing yet stood upon ever the civilian arena. Not the almost to any member. Yes, any police will be in Makopana. A better the Bino, the disease banner, the Copra to the for a bar. Uber was there, was Robia any day, any. Make I say, Brana, yes, schooling. Now, you see a demonstration. Now, almost say, oh, my young folk. Oh, you see, a cry about the young permission here. And you see, almost met me with demonstration or our school. Now, more to me, MVP, I want to say. Yes, you baby. Now, your boy, I want to pay ya, you see, I want to do this now. Now, I stood up for a brand new, I have form of a yes, one opinion has not nothing. We are arrested. We are arrested. We are arrested. We are arrested. Wait for her. Not wait for her. One country, you come to the crown, you die.
I see.
Oh, it's no Omono young woman, Baba. A club, a two, a painting, and I say, never we are dinner. And now, I'm about not the other. Now, what you are, I throw one year from one, a form FPD in the youth. So what the not back none no bear the civilians. I should not pay civilians airport so that.
But Prof, I know ye na Iraq and the party my no na eto sense well sadie we cause sense in painful be on more omati omanya NTSA bia obi pese oyi omu fio obi pese bia obi promo obi bo mo ene ne keka ka honti and akadia bi wo hono man ka bia nka police for na so mo yes ane ba wo ni soldier for na wo eno nti na ma ko ban sa
well, you don't create a problem to solve a problem. Well, the problem was what you solve. You see, many of them are a police for no or when you are that is number one. I say a police for quite a pass to a recruit to the brain. See, we have politicized our recruitment process into a bit of what only person, only what it takes to become a police officer. Into politicization, if you have forgotten the room. Instead of being not politicians, no, only confidence for police, That's number two. Well, and if these are the challenges, maybe say young solve challenges, No more, it is problematic to say the challenges to what, young create another problem by bringing in the military. And not see another problem. If you are solving a problem by creating another problem, so academically, you are impact again more. The infrastructure, let us begin to reorganize our police service such that abuse the public confidence they have to abuse.
Prof, I pay me that's pa nyame sha ne wadaje. Miss Minyadi, senior C, a year no my edasi. Professor Yao runs for Jump, political science lecturer, head Youth Bridge Research Institute, and pay and on year Dean Komo Ewa Ghana Montie, Jimedie. So, Nra, senior and 70 Sikoye, appointment committee, and then so Messa Transe, and Common B, and any prophet D, and a pay at Jane perspective, Ewa, yeah, senior C who no, Kweku Ajiman, Menu, Honorable, and Albert Kandapa, Mr. and Penfum Yenu no Mkoe. Na prof, you be and come on, can be about Sadia, ya, who will not so your Nikuta, yeah, so you need the civilian, Ukutane bag, Nasi, the Akwasi, a bamboo and crash soldier for, and one more my bamboo, instead of say be a police for being some way, say you Na asɛm no honorable Haruna Idrisu minority leader ɛna obisa yentie.
In the public domain, there's too much visibility of armed soldiers with weapons and guns everywhere, some following chief executives, others even ministers. Is it a government policy to deploy the Ghana Armed Forces instead of the Ghana Police Service, which is responsible for civil order in the country? What explains that?
This is a decision that is normally taken by the security agencies. For instance, when we do have a report that a particular individual has a problem and that people are after his life, we think there is a danger, we come in to provide support. We do not only give it to ministers and to other high-profile members of society. I do know of some people, in fact, I do know of a journalist that we continue to provide security cover and security support to. It is our responsibility to ensure that the lives of the people of this country, whatever their status, are protected, and whenever it becomes necessary, we try to do.
Chairman, is appreciated, but Minister, my question, is that a vote of no confidence on the Ghana Police Service established by law to maintain law and order? Nobody has a problem with the police maintaining public peace and order. But if we so see soldiers everywhere, growing up as a young person, let me go back to your rural village there, Masibuama. Are you comfortable with saw soldiers around with guns everywhere as we are seeing them in town?
Anywhere you have seen soldiers having to protect a particular individual, it is because in our assessment, the assessment of the security experts, there is the need for such support to be given to that particular person.
And I'm saying you cannot do so with the police.
At times you have to use certain equipment which will not be readily available, say, to the police.
Are you suggesting that the Ghana Police Service is not up to the task?
I mean, clearly the Ghana Police Service and the other security agencies have, in terms of equipment, in terms of men, they've never had the full complement of what it takes to provide the most effective policing in the country. So
Chairman,
yes,
I'll just end here with a ref.
So ora Albert Kandapa nra Brian Nampin for bisibisa nsem o vetting ase appointment committee tena ase eno bi eno de atudwa ewo honum see no na yeda so edi vetting no enkomo na enra se munim se mpenifo mienu ene yamamanya ntia se wo mkoye honorable KWASI menu minister designate for health and ora Albert Kandapa me born in ICC na yankodi KWASI menu ho enkomo kakra honorable kwabena minta kando Mashebe Jenny Ojima my job so minority spokesperson on health honorable yada asimu akwa baba NIT FM so okay I think say ya hwere won see be say bia ensa betimi aka honorable kwabena minta kando biom na yetimi ne no edi nkomo but before ebia benya no ahoma no so biom ne edi nkomo no mamema nana makoma be fi room kakra de obankrata no nsem se ne sitie yentie
Ebusiafo ye shadow obankrata no ase na ye komu dia daily graphic da obankrata no na me de komu o
Fatemi na yeah, Fatemi. Honorable Yemo Akwa Baba NIT FM so pay.
Yeah, me.
Bakodia.
Yeah, me no mo
So initial comment nra penfo mienu minim so timi hwe omu na KWASI menu tena se kane achire no na ye ra Albert Kandapa so betena se sena na team of vetting no.
Oh, me Sunday we no vetting committee no we are mo report the back. A paper ni nyina ya debate na idea me debate sa appointment committee report we I will take part in the debate especially on issues of health because and never be because of that in the the person be discussing in the media and sana at the end so but I can tell you for a fact that Andra I was disappointed because I felt that some of the questions are minister responsible, minister designated for health. No. If you are not only the question, no. If you are not the answers, no, not easy so. episode one and we will debate those issues, and I will be surprised if we can go through. I'll be surprised.
That's a strong one.
Yes, and I'm telling you that. Listen, you see, there's a difference between the Obi Aye health minister that yes, I reappointing is the or near veteran. Any Obi on your Jumao ministry or that near vet. There's a clear difference. There's a man who has been appointed as health minister for the past 4 years. So where's the point? Like if you have a question in your jurisdiction, I'll see the clear invasion of the question.
Sir, no crane being truthful and honest.
If it means that you are not on top of issues in the ministry. That's what it means. If it is no question, fine. You're fine saying no question. If you then what it means is that one out of two things. It is either say it's a deliberate you want to invade a question, or you are indeed you are not on top of issues. Could be anywhere yet. And for me, I will hesitate to debate the issues in the media. There are clear evidence. A big table on the floor of the house, and I'll be surprised if this man could go through.
So COVID by meaning some Kasa and the honorable in particular, being part of a NDC COVID team, response team in the account. Actually, what dream be brave. Not to saying, Prime Minister Cass, okay, $100 million. See, so far, she can't be on my say, ye dear Simuno, Senaneto. Say,
quite what you wouldn't say. I'm always willing and ready to have a lengthy discussion with you on your program anytime you have a free media.
Yeah.
But I've indicated to you that I'm going to debate this issue because I've been reports ever. And so I do not want to debate or discuss the details on radio.
Okay.
Okay.
I respect that. I respect that.
Because in some kind, this sector is about health. And in any serious country, health issues are taken seriously. And serious people must be appointed and approved to manage such sectors. And it's about health. It must be prioritized. So you can't come and tell me, because it's about the health of the people. If the health of the people it affects productivity. So you can't go and prioritize any other thing rather than health. It's not possible. And I will not mean this way in different. If the president really did that, then we have a problem as a country. If the president prioritizes any other thing apart from the health sector, then we have a problem as a country. So if a minister sits before you and says, I'm not the one who gives clearance, I'm not the one who does this, the Minister of Finance, hey, then we are heading towards doom.
And until the Mauka said, I say, be a pay.
Well, that's why I don't want to go further. Let's get there. Because I was second appointed, they're interested in the health issues of this country. So they are covered, they are going through. And there are some who come on a million need or covered the home. Tell me, that the end of many work can't ember me. Now, the KPS so I can be any anymore. Tell me one. We have this at a point in time, if I can't say, yeah, people who are covered and who are Maymono and Yagro. I'm not going to say the prophet of doom. Okay. Do you remember? And then where are we? And then that COVID in one city, and then in this crisis, the Tumico hospital here, you see, oxygen in the home. I don't say.
Yeah, Mate.
I mean, what are we doing to ourselves? And then, many will say, they are promising for some health professionals, COVID. Into a catch, they've been increasing about 50%. Go and ask them if it has been paid. Now, apart from saying if I don't mind, what the motivation to if I don't I have come into contact with 3 different COVID careers. Obian Femini contract with say, yes, say, as soon as what they call COVID. Now, also when you see, so we are doing contact tracing here from the camp for testing. I'm talking from personal experience. Contact tracing, Yamutu. And yet, they are not far. And the piano, fellow Kenyans, okay, thousands, we could COVID virus. Fellow Kenyans, okay, thousands, if we could virus back. We are not walking the talk. We are always talking. Plenty. We are for experts in communicating. Now, more media way. We are senior journalists. We are no answer. Yeah, come. Into your piano, yeah, PR, my buying. Now, I only come here. I am not surprised. Say, a man I recorded cases less than 200, 100. Now, I'm crying to see they were not in school. And then they recorded cases more than 700 cases a day. Yes, I'm crying to school. Across 2 years, 3 years. I don't know, Kushia. Across some boys, so what? One day, even members of parliament in Penny 4, you say, COVID, I didn't say more parliament, you'll be uncle was down 3 minutes. So who are advising the president? I mean, of course, some of the basic schools in this country go to the villages. Thermometer community. And so they be a coffee. The next day, I'm about school. COVID, you are speaking in a second. You see, variants now, I get to say, oh, I had a UK variant and a strain, and then South Africa, I'm not saying I'm don't we have people testing at the airport at almost $150 per test? Don't we? Masa,
that's honorable Nyamisha. Honorable Kwabena Minta Kando, Yamrasebe Jenio Jinama, Jabo, so minority spokesperson on health. And I'm sure, sir, he kept saying in the interview in T. Naisemi Jano, sir, and 7 on the floor of Parliament. Or they don't know about Tuja. So, Minsem Bisano and Pesem Bisano, for instance, no, or Maquine and might be a sense and Bisano intimate. But me, so say, Brepemuno, you bet me, a year, or Kabinaminta, Kando, Nay, and Dinkomo. And some of the issues that was making headlines and a fee teach you, or an honorable, Kwajima Menu, headlines, maybe I didn't interrogate procurement process for KIA COVID testing facility. Health Minister designate Asemba Kwakane said, yes, in Fidia, see Kotoka, you change Nabiana, man for by a day on test, no antigen test near the $150. I see, I say Ghana for the bet you have $50, no. But your Ghana near still I bet you $150, no. And when folks said, not sir, what more this have to buy, no. Unim a mom fee funny says was you, I know the man shouldn't be me, Matesia, yes. Now, Unim saw me in Nigeria for years. Okay. Just say, Health Ministry spent $100 million on COVID-19. Ajima menu reviews. What I say, COVID-19, you see, Kasi see, you deal with $100 million. And I can't shame. The COVID-19, $120 million, big crown, so World Bank, Bushia being so banning your car. I completed most of Mahama's unfinished hospitals. Ajima menu just was see, abandoned dano hospitals near Biapoding. Sabia be on so missing in our buy or making sure so a pisca moment see. Frontiers license wasn't checked because we are in a pandemic season. Ajima menu. Na Ejumekua wa muya test no Kotuka International Airport what I'm saying. Yes, from Frontiers Healthcare Solution Services. Na penfo bisa say na Orajima menu. Wonim say sa Frontiers for no. Company in July no amati yo last year July no amati August pepe near the adwuma ne dia mom. Na unimu ana I say Mo say I know me say Frontier for no July yo. Na hafa and I say okay so him say a pandemic no we're not in normal times if we're not in normal times in Padia BBC betimi see I'm not sure of if ambulances are insured. Health Minister designate Omubusan say ambulance here nam krom ya ambulance here kraba we won ambulance no insurance was so na I say ambulance Mr. Chairman, I want to find out from the honorable nominee that the ambulances that we procured, over 300 of them, whether they are insured. So Rajimamenu was saying, this is a difficult question, but I'll have to check on them. There were instructions for insurance to be done, but I have to check on it. Question where I will be some media no do say insurance ambulance insurance was question anu edin why exams pa we question 4 na dia mama anu edin pa muntaka na so musa question ketwa mu emre ubusa minister designate question mu edin sa no say onim sanka I say insurance ya insurance so but onim enti we obe check or check wi a obema maswati. Now, vaccine here based on 170% or so. Government have started training vaccinators. And teachers say, sir, vaccine here by empanye nura ediba war na COVID-19. Yen unite me jina yanena ko pintin no se o aban asase krantete e koso mo mbe won pane ne kaka ho. Ba kon so ba ye fa doctor for say doctor for no the 2 January can say 82% of all Ghana's doctors in Accra and Kumasi. A doctor for the Omcon a woman call Ghana Bibia and Crani Kumasi. And the doctor for see or Hantichemu Edu what me new woman in a Crani Kumasi pen or person metronow. Would you Omocotamale uncle? Would the question you call the Cocasa pain one call? There be Obia person better than Crani Kumasi. A doctor for 82% saying and then runs to a baby day, Jana. Was it or dodgy question back? There's a health minister nominee dodges question on Akufo-Addo's construction of district hospitals in first term. Okubisa and said, Oma Penika so basically 88 district hospital. How far, minister, how far? That hospitals 88, no. I no Mwetimi Sibiana to say, Osio, and Sassene Crown, Crofon person, Bama and Sassini Besi. I have said 13 districts, if you know my shash, your mama and Sassini Bininia Kakaona. In fact, make us say, dear, and Cassie, Baku cry and see, in fact. In 88 hospitals, no, no dear, and said that my sir. Government to construct 111 district hospitals. 88, no, you see, but was it you see 111? Way, minister, non 70s, but come to a PFMO welfare of mortuary workers on government agenda. Omubusano, in some facet, much you my phone, one so, Nansen, there be no musu. De bia no musu I say adwuma no enhyeda enkoye ena osio omo asem de eyo mampani ni aban ye hia asem papa enche bia no beti bibi papa efi aban mu ye guso ye di hu adwuma. I can't give specific date for arrival of coronavirus vaccines. Womu ko bi say okay, so sa coronavirus nduro ya say de ba wo ye no. Dabe na baby do my hanum say. Osibo menana. Question abobisa me de mintimi nkyire o da vaccine baby do Ghana hanum say. Minister and yes what kind of sa. Two teams and some no de na dosun or transia be don hwere be 9 de ko be num kura wo mu bisa no nsem wo mu fire questions no wo mutimi bisa no question ni bi wo bisa na minister say oh question where the son no din do. We show me nima busam question din saying but in some be I mean I was happy because we busu am penifo here. Omo nyiwa no. Na am ko busa ya anko be doji. The ba ni sin ade pimpim na am say sajiwa. Oh la la.
In your answer to the Frontier Health Care Services Limited at the Kotoka International Airport, did I hear you say that services was procured by the Presidential Task Force on COVID?
Yes, I did say so.
Are you a member of the Presidential Task Force on COVID?
Yes.
So if you are a member of the Presidential Task Force and you were going through this contract, are you saying that you didn't know the details of the contract that was being given out or that was being done?
Honorable Chair, the Presidential Task Force was actually started by me from the ministry, the early stages of the onslaught. I said I was creating an inter-ministerial committee. But then the first 2 meetings I called, my colleagues wouldn't come. So I told the president that he should take over that inter-ministerial committee to enable us engage. And that created the presidential task force. Okay. Then the task force, a very large thing.
I don't dispute that. I mean, was the task force was going to embark on an health
We had
project.
separate functions for separate groupings and committees within the task force.
And are you telling this
and
committee?
there was created a
Minister, if you let us have a conversation that those listening to us and we in the committee can follow, it will be useful. And you are telling this committee that as a minister for health then, and they were procuring a health service at the airport, you were not in the known.
Yes.
Is the presidential task force on COVID an entity?
Where entity means?
Where they can procure. Because you know it's only an entity that can procure. You've been the former chair of the Public Accounts Committee.
No.
So how did they procure if they were not an entity?
They did that in collaboration with Ghana Health Service.
So are you then suggesting that it was Ghana Health Service that front the procurement of this service at the airport?
To interrogate that matter.
When you say you interrogate, what does that mean?
I'm not very privy to the initial stages of procurement. When I got, they finished arrangements with it, and they came to my notice. I was more interested in getting the facility set up and providing port health officials to man the facility. That is when I came in. I didn't go back to interrogate these matters to the extent that you want me to answer. And that is why I'm saying that I have to get back to interrogate.
Okay. Earlier, you also said that this group didn't even have a license. You have to encourage them to go and register. Is that right? Yeah. So when they were registering, did you bother to find out their nationality?
No, please.
And after subsequently, when they were operating and there was a lot of press conferences and noise by Ghanaians or protests or complaints by Ghanaians, as the health minister, did you pay attention to the press conference or the complaints that Ghanaians were making with regards to their operations at the airport?
Yes, I did. And that has resulted in a reduction of the fees for at least ECOWAS citizens.
And you didn't pay attention to how they were operating?
So I didn't pay attention to how they were operating. That will not be correct. What I say that I didn't interrogate the processes for procurement.
No, but you were paying attention to how they were operating.
Yes, definitely. The training of port health people, culminating even in the intention to create a proper port health division in Ghana Health Service. They were all part of the things that we did to enable us get people to man the place. So I paid attention.
So is that company operating in a laboratory in this country that you know?
Please, I cannot answer that question. I wouldn't know their facilities in the system. I don't know.
Minister, you said you paid attention to their operations. And
at the airport. And I wouldn't know if they owe Akai or Medilab or any other facility in the country.
If you paid attention to your operation, they were taking samples to test. I thought that it would be natural for you to be sure where are they doing this testing.
Okay. So, Ora KWASI Menu, Honorable KWASI Menu, and Ra are the vetting, the appointment committee to say one more ABC and some, and no be, and Honorable Muntaka Mubarak, no fire no questions. I remember a studio had him say, now, the one catano, Nanama, Yankwe.
Yo, darling boy, me shall see the end na a year daily graphic that Bocratano and I'm a day air shall see. Na ya kaya ni akwa yenchi akwa kwesi na ye twam we ya. And a Supreme Court kokotena and some swani na etwaguo efa petition. A year election 2021. And this amanyoko wamo flag bearer Ghana man penny dada. John Dramani Mahama edi akwa da court to go back and sa batu e de share so. E wo fie pinini eduonu no results wa. Isi ede ba abonten wo hu ne se katasumi enwu asubi e wo mu enti wo mo enhyada enya nhwehwemu fama wo mo. Na eno no matran nsam ne so anti akwa duru se NDC for close your case. Eno ena edru se e wo se isi so em wo witness. Wo beba ba tenam wo eye dansefo ede ma wo mo fa nsam ne ho. Na eye ma meje mensa so baba tena adwam wo ne yatoto na no ne yebisa ne se aso emma wode baba to abontene se Ghana mampani na na adodankwa kufuado wonu na awi ni ana se sen no ene na akwa ya twema mentwe e wo mra eye ayi Supreme Court wono no a ene e kire se ebina da no na nya asenketo akora wo ho oru atachuchi kata wo gina mudi ama Ghana mampani da John Dramani Mahama ene ne ndisi aban ayi ko no e so original ya no wo che se ayi my lord ye close your case na sisi na wo se isi wo mo so e mo dance for ba betra alaka nim na ye toto na no na ye bisa ne nsem e besi e bisa no ena eye ne wo gina mo e de ama isi owura manuvo enso original na so ene wo se ayi dabi wo mo agasa na wo mo e de ensem ba beda court no wo mo ahada amfa enyina so papa bi emu edu bia amfa ama enti enya de be provide witness bia wakasa wie ya na de wogina musu de ama Ghana mampani na na adodankwa akufuado owura koto ampa so sore ye no wose o da bia ayi gina na hwa na ne banso gina ntia ne na sia se ne isi lawyer na kan sa pepepe na me so mefo aso wo ho yan so em provide witness bia ena eya owura tachuju kata se da bi se de isi fo na nkasa de ba ye se ko ba se ye hia se ye betoto wo mo witness bia no be provide witness no wo se wo mo de ma me gin mensa be betena alaka nim no mbisa bisa ne nsam a enti wo mo ntumi embra wo mo e wo sa nsam no nti koto eya so o wo mo ntumi nyina nkra ne mu ntutu nkra ne enti na sa de wo se ne wo mo ekokọ bisa abere watia e fa nsam ne ho no mba be buade ma wo mo enti gina sie ne nyina no wo mo ya so mo home so nrada ukuada enne wo mba ba betena se be se nondu akọ be se nondu mpa mu so na wo mama ye hunu gina sie ne se aso ye maame wo betena alaka nim ne bisa bisa ne nsam ana se te sen eno ene na ebekire enti ye nyina ye watwene mu a ye hwa se ebetimi akwa akosisa tie ma mbeba be gyina alaka nim ye bisa bisa ne nsam a de afa ho a daily graphic de obokrata no ebo ye ho amane esa aka ye se de ensam no ebekọ eno no na ye to so a eye covid-19 nsam mu ene ye do asukọ de akomuo daily graphic de obokrata no a krata fa eno no etoso eye duonumienu ene duonumiensa fifini wonom na mababa begina na executive officer chief executive officer the Mabreska International Dr. Mrs. Beatrice Biasi Adai na wode afutio ekode ama Ghana for say ma yenye ya adwene say bia covid-19 no ababa yi cancer de afiri won mu o se da bi entimi nyi kokram ya de ne mfa mfiri wo eti se wonam wonom bachire na wo ya wa adwene say na me de covid-19 ti me nkwa ya asabia ena me hu se madwo akora da me no fo mu a me nkwa ya asabia ena me de bra no me nkwa check up bia na makwa ye nhwemu de afamili padua mu no wo se entena ho no nya nhwe han wa hwe be wi ache ni ye se cancer na ba be ja so a ye ntimi enkun kongosi ase nanso wo so ano ntempa so a ebetimi aboa ye ba papa entime ma na nya se bia covid no aba be buga kanta eye cancer so nti no wo be so obete ho asem kra wo se edaso e wo ho no enti anyina me yani na ho na ye mo ye ho ban family cancer no titiru emma wo mo enhwe wo mo apomudin ensem a efa cancer no wuye papa bra no bra na akwa ya sabia na wo kwa akwa ginchire mu di afa ho wo de nsem anyina no atu edwa ebra Peace and Love Hospital wo mo ebo modern eye conferences awodo no a ewo adum a ewo kumase asantemantamu na ne nyina no wo mo edi ewiase nyina da watudi esi wonom de hwa kokran ade awon senkaye ene wo mo edi ensem nyina no edi atu edwa a wache se woni Union for International Cancer Control ena aka abo mo di dwumade we nyina ye ma me edi amanebo eko edi ama Ghana fo nyina na kokran ade do covid no wonyi mfiri ho no ezie me ani na ho ne mbo ye ho ban emfa mfiri ho a we so eye ensem a eda daily graphic de obokrata no katafa etoso aduonu mienu
mami kwa mano so mini nkomo membra na to aso mami Orakofi Jordan General Secretary ma MONTIE Workers Association of Ghana na enra Minister Designate for Health ninsem bisano ba ku pie fa MONTIE edwumayefo yi yenuma no me edwuma papa no mo na menko na yenni ho enkomo kakra Ra Jordan da simu akwa baba NIT FM so na mpo mu te sen nansemu na ya betia ne de bia na se mukemu se aniama nkoyie ni ne keka ho sana tie sisia aniama ya kakra de
well make on say said anyadi now so ye wo me is advantage
na before beba vetting no so no mimu so COVID yi any amanfoɔ nso a wɔn mu efiri mu yi yade hyɛ ne adɔfoɔ ɛne mu adwuma a ɛsɛ sɛ mo yie yi no ɛno deɛ na abɛka kyerɛ Ghanafoɔ mu tia no pɛ.
Well, the meeting I can COVID very real. Then I won't want you. Maybe I had a rebound suspected. Maybe I see a new form. A brain a movie. Yet they are cool. Maybe I can the purposes of young Catholic safety, public health. I was there for follow protocol. Now, gentlemen,
Okay. So, Enra, bra osafo yeyi ne so mbehwe apomudin eso ekọ vetting no minim se utimi hwe bi ana mo memesi bi hwe mo hwe bi de. Okay. So, senia ensemusa ne call ye anu you ade ma yen na to sen.
Well, and then we say we are in the process of passing the airline. And there was an act of parliament 1998 and I'm going to say when it comes to funeral industry now, and there should be a board that regulates that industry. 2011, I'm under the Health Institutions Act 829 specifically. Part 2 of it, Part 1, any health institutions they don't regulate your friend HIFRA. Part 2, any agency here and the monitoring of the funeral industry. There should be an agency and they are in charge. I did monitoring and funeral facilities agency. And the short for me, MUFA. That agency, no, we didn't say that my SAT, much work and agitation. Yeah, who reset Kaka, Mimi, who reset Kaka. And you got 2 minutes when you say, if you are hostile, Munya Mai, a honor, and the minister also to one of your end. As we speak, your consultant, a WhatsApp project, and this one. Me information, and like the minister said, once a act, as an airline, and Casano, and we are the process of drafting the airline, that's the parliament approval. Once airline more detailed, and how it should be done. Usually, it talks about regulating, licensing, controlling anything concerning death, from the point of death to final distribution. In the emphasis, we do and then a bit of the best being star agency and a bit in charge of everything. First, then the visa in the evolution and I don't know how to say. No, or obviously, obviously, mom. Over the much teaching hospital. Then they do work on open. I was a much a check. There was a teaching hospital. There is that and you want to one cemetery. We are going to regulate all cemeteries. Workers are here. Almost nobody sitting for in dead bodies. Any cremation. In fact, anything concerning them is agency and emergency. Then the number can watch it.
Oh, okay. All right. At least Moya was Mrabi sa di hu juma bi enche e betimi aboa.
Yeah, we have engaged them several times. And that I'm a consultant need to minister during the break, as I speak, they are at the old premises of Ghana Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health is someone on the premises of in the area
more mental authority, MOFA, how you have been resourced to make sure that and Yamaja may know and Kaya because if you have an agency without the board now, your agency said they should be registered. I register another MONTIE, the office of an administrator. And our board members, not chairman, members, or they will move for me, I'll make the decision. I don't have a person can bank them. Now, you see, I don't want them watching workers, multi management, facility management, cemetery regulations, and all this. A bit young to come out.
Okay. And so far, Bram, question by any I knew you on the mind. More you okay, more satisfied as an association, you know.
Well, I think the same question. The answer is that's the answer he gave us. We are in the process of getting it done. And I'm saying, so no, it was expectation. Say much of I've always said people are dying. The work we do is very critical and risky. And also, for all I know, there is an act that was mentioned today. All the welfare issues knowing and agency. Yes, it's always giving me the same answer. The all kinds of alternatives. This is even action. I don't say yes. The agency has started making food.
Okay, all right. Well, you fancy what I'm saying. Me so say Chibi be by saying Dinkomobio. Richard Kofi Jordan, General Secretary, MONTIE Workers Association of Ghana. Na, my main kind, my gin chain being so on a pay. Monfan Chem said, Mama Tim, because I told you I was interviews, no, to Association, a brand so aqua baby or him saying, you need to say, Mode my gin chain, and so at the board Jimmy Diano. So, mean kind be, and Farmer Fighter Kweku Buachi says, for the Minister of Health designate, Kwekwaji Menu to say that the firm conducting COVID-19 tests at Ghana's airport was licensed late because we were not in normal times makes me wonder. Again, according to Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, the firm had no medical laboratories experience. Hey, Ghana. Fighter Kweku Buachi. Sky from Kaswa says, foreigners caught red-handed. Okay, it says, electricity company should be up and doing maintenance work in the country, and the rate of light-off is very bad on their part. That's Sky. And Sule Sunyani KTK says that petitioner is aware he has so far presented a weak case at the Supreme Court. His legal counsel have not been able to adduce evidence to support that. Sule, with that one, if the appointment committee and for that matter the Parliament House approves the nomination of Albert Kandapa and Honorable Ambrose Derry, then as a nation we have a long way to go, because in my opinion they didn't handle our security issues very well. Boatin from Denmark. No matter what John Mahama does, his petition at the Supreme Court will be thrown away. That's, I believe, from Nungwa. Teacher Kujo from Tubodama Dantasi says, Ghanaians, I was offered tea. I wasn't offered any biscuit. All that the NDC know is food and not calculation. To this one, that says, I'm a person who wants possessions. Okay, let me just leave it. It's not too clear. Mukaila Jonas Adiya from Keri. Please tell those NDC appointment committee members not to overstretch their nominees because no human being is perfect. Even Sami Jemfi, who could attack any person in this country, is their communication director. That's Mukaila Jonas Adiya. Amano Ansan from Adenta says, please, I want to remind President Akufo-Addo that he promised to assent to the RTI bill this year. So he should do it. That's Amano Ansan. And so, so did I hear Honorable Kweku Agyeman saying they have already used $100 million from the COVID-19 funds? In fact, this government is really wicked and also wasting our money for nothing. Meshach Asante from Abuso Kai. Supreme Court should throw out the petitioner's request for the first and second respondent to mount in the box for cross-examination because the lead counsel for the petitioner and his legal team failed to put up a relevant argument. Yao Sankide Taifa. Mamima Nanama, we the Bankratano, and for Nanama, we are.
For me, the Ganeta and the Bankratano, and me the area the Bankratano, Kata first to do Sian and Mababejina. Now, ye carry man for appointment committee. I want my shut to a yaman penny, and penny forward or bomudin. Tell my fast, for the bread or my gun and moony swanum. 1 to 2 man, no more show with you, mediase and rather. And see, 1 more shall say the natural said 1 more the apomide, therefore, and I shall say nothing. A year bambossi Afonso and on the shassi, and or rock who had my menu, and I say, or rack and the pie, cocoa piemu, a woman. Now, rock my menu, a cocoa piemu, appointment committee, no anyone will be sanity said. This year, no COVID-19, no Yamianim Nukrenie, Yashada and Nim and Ron and Rudua, Eba, and Afenso, at the crop at Baba Piemo, my gun and Yashadanim. The animal is penny forecast, and running in a Baba Piemo, my gun and move as a match, you say, Probusu minimum. To bet me my a dapote. There be a day to say 16 for an answer, 18 for an answer way. Who bet me the sad and was oh, at the property party, so cast over to me my sad date in an obwa. It's unsaid. 1 more shada and nim empon no one didn't run a brayano. 1 month me pon cada property, no say the 16th, 18th, 1st, 20th, and no the babraye. The Omaka and so met me about mother the abraye. Ebi a probusu minimum and answer match busu minimum. And no bet me the abraye, now so the property ne 1 more end to me anchor. Now so the Ghana man penny and I don't go for any a buy national so met me ayen and say 1 more bomb Emma COVID-19 in row. Doses best at 355,000 there. And no more ever to have a PM or my gun and best a match of Busu minimum. Ewa few women, Michelle Jebini Edu Bako. And no one more shiny and Sabet Miaka. There are no crowd but a bedroom ever my gun and more. Not just say, Nipa, a bet me a strong motion area or one. 20 million or Pepe Edu, or Pepe Edu, 20 million. And you bet me at the abo or more. Ninano and Sembia, a better dear our appointment committee in 1 more. And also so ya won a dawro e de achira mo and na so mekoso atoaso enti yemfa wo ye ni eni omachi na ye hwesa de ensam no ebetifa akono da obokra sa Ghanaian Times no a ye ba bi etoso du wotwe page 18 na hono e na mesa de atoaso na what say public relations officer Edema Western Regional Police Command Deputy Superintendent of Police Ora Olivia Erabna Tawia Adiku and one also ekasa wa hanu ya watch say Sisi and one more modern no more Eden Chirama Pan asked the Ghana for him, Eddie for COVID-19 protocols. No, it has a Ghana for be a yabu yasum. As the Yaya Sobrache, will be so across them and a sofa catcher and see any idea say I didn't been to me and the biada. And see why I just the first mass and I see and Shania Beshe. And yet, to 1 wanted to want you to move every Pemyadi or by sanitizer 1 February Yanasa that would do baby and Sukrawa. And Yadio Babo Modern, not what me I will run and Sakra the biada. Nina and one more modern one church Ghana for no. Then a bay protocols no. One bet me ediso. What in some way in Anutuja, a bra 1 more and a year zoom line Jumeco, Efa a woman. 1 more would 1 a year Western region. Police Juma who do best said you number qua. A war 1 but 1 Omubo no honum no asane be ya nina no COVID-19 o metimi anam so no mo de ade omo ho ade afi ya de boni we hu a we so e na yegina na yade eyede obankrata ni wasu kodo ni nyina no yade esie.
But I say so newspapers no nkinkan no and nana makoma be fi ewie dia man no na anope so empenifo me no ba betran say honorable Samuel Ayepe former member of parliament for Ayensuano and Stephen Atubiga member of the NDC and 2024 presidential hopeful. Yeah, really. Okay. All right. Timpenfo any on Babe di Juma we the discussion management one more Babe transia anisa na mamemfa adwencheni bi so empia yanko your name and pay what you no. So I think the people don't need any training in wearing nose masks after 1 year of COVID. What the people need is canes. The people shouldn't pamper. The police shouldn't pamper Ghanaians. Elvis from Tema. So it's people. On yesterday's vetting, I am asking Honorable Kweku Ajimamenu that where are those Mahamas unfinished hospitals he helped to complete? Where are they located? At least every project have names and location. Honorable KWASI Mamenu does not deserve that position again. That's Ablade from Efie Kuma Zongo Takrade with that one. And to this one from Akasibe Efi from Insoem, I will urge all Ghanaians to support prayers. Support the president with prayers to rule this nation. Okay, all right. We start praying. If Kandapa is retained as National Security Minister again, then Ghana is finished. Because for the 4 years till now, what is going on? Worse. That's Bright from Belgium. Hey. I wanted you to ask Adam Bona, if given the chance, can he stop the murders from happening in Ghana forever? These guys talk as if they know everything about security. Obviously, didn't like his interview. Al-Hassan Sise Zenu Central says, COVID is real, so let us all observe the safety protocols for our own sake. Shifman Aton Sukuma say, it's very surprising that the petitioners who couldn't provide evidence now wants the EC to come and make a case for them in the witness box. Chefman Atonsu. OPK from Gosso says, in fact, visionary and incompetent Nanado has shown good leadership in the fight against COVID-19. And Mahama's petition has fallen flat and nothing good will come out of it. OPK from Gosso. Teacher Constitution, what we are more say, somebody should advise Mr. Chachuchi Kata to summarize his submissions before he goes to court today because Kasatente top on court. That's Teacher Constitution. Nana Kwame Opasco from Insoem says, please, NDC and MPP should stop this court case and focus on our economy. Ghana needs help. That's Nana Kwame. Wafake, New Plan Station Circle says, Asirin Katia is shocking. I haven't said anywhere that Mahama has won. Oh, God have mercy to NDC party. That's Wafake. Right. So, Studio Moon Penny 4 at Nase Ewahanamo saying, right, to begin, Ewahanam say, so, and Honorable IAP. Who has my papers? Okay. All right. In Penny 4 in Henyon Babedi and Como, I was saying, before I say, Bedi in Comono, Mincham, Hell, Memra.
Ghana, Muntie, Naman Sanyason. At the rock of Yaman woman so ejiji tonton sansan ewo need 100.9 FM.
Utie oha extra punk no. Needs FM.
Efiera, me watch you Efiera. Yes on.
Machi o Efiera. Efiera me chia wonye so.
Hey, Ewra, enfase mam so. What? E ba force chia me. Mo yem no.
Won so pepe.
Hey, oh, wafi, we dey me person ni Efiera bekon. Eh, Efiera we dey kwa sori abo.
Ewra de. Mo kwa sori.
Ya papa ye.
Ewra de ka soro ho a. What? E be say wo ba hwa wa kraba kumpo wunya. Onipa da se ne timi koto this way chocolate drink. No ne yire ne ma edi nsuo hie twabia nom anopa. No wi a wasade bia hye fridge mu. Wo makọ school pon a wasan ba be yi anom. Enu mpore se ne nka ne twaso mu pa ende ye rekore. Ne fie wura beti ha. Anopa dio, ewia dio, enumre dia mo no makodew. Mo mame. Na mu wi a ma soro akotra so ndem se ye kosum ya.
Mesi na dia ya late nso me yanke kabinje Efiera ye wi a yakosere bo fate. Ke Efiera wuti fia se light bi no water bi oba wuntua bi. Wo boa se sika na fa koto this way chocolate drink na ba nom.
Ta hwe me catch we play nya play fa. Say this way chocolate drink no. Metumi ato bi pa na so na me so mo ahwe wate. E de me hia ne nsuohie. Na nsuohie so me ntoi. Se me bufu a betumi ato bag mu a wate.
Yeah, Efiera we nkwa de ma abunfu.
Efiera fi de ya bre ma abunfu bi.
Munyam sumponie. Munyam sumponie. Na mo ba ya trimodefo.
FDA ahwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atom se eye.
But dear Beckway did never quite in fact, and dear Ditchum. I drag and crack. A bush of 40 be their bear for a crassa by Pabaka cracker. There you know who will be able to what? For and not Beckway, Ocean, Nina Sania, and Nick Dennis and a Chilsham City and one. At the South Crassa Benoit, I will be surrounded what I did.
Oh, and an idea what's it? Neat palm not extract and a media Ben Quines up.
Neat palm not extract.
Annie, I bet fed the dirty a power can once me, and not been a neat fools or much cheer which ends him. And just said, I mean, I break crowd, I ben. Now, Fena me me ko sai bra ko no abe woja so enko wo nko chi mefe ne nwa ho ana me dia ya ben kwan any stew.
Oh, na said need foods e dia be kwan abade a ene no ato manfo bre so.
E bre do matimi so pa fi say aben kwan we ne ye gi adaje. Enti se wonya neat palm nut extract a umre kra. E say aba bri so ene ode aye. Na nam kitua bi mpo a wo ben no nkwan atafre won sa. Neat palm extract anase neat aben kwan. Nia e de ne say emu ohwam te say aben kwan ye nim dadaada no a. Ana so bie so nya dio. Wodo sa so mu wa hu na wa bie so. Wo mre kra.
Need palm nut extract. Oh, come on, na oni bibi. What dear sound come we pad, I wouldn't need palm me be a bear back on the slow midi dear, will be able to pumwa, who's me ho.
Oh, what's so?
May I am part of this and beer.
Yo, and your mom for a mope be and will be uncle supermarket. Any jump
FDA, I just said, you didn't crack to more jet to say a yeah.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime. Natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
MONTIE OHA Extra Ponkno. Needs FM.
Anapa inchia kesi nkoma yenu anma wamo London MONTIE and kind hot digital online London UK. Yes. Monso se COVID protocols no. Nra parliament om di bia ba to dwane ne account. This is here. Traveling to UK, we say more than papa and in the account. But studio one say a twan common so pin for na say honorable Samuel Yepe, former member of Parliament for Ian Swano, and Ora Stephen Atubiga, a member of the NDC and 2024 presidential hope for just 2024 record. Ora Atubiga.
Oh, definitely for sure. Nyameboa first of all, mbese mechia MONTIE fo nyina
Tiefo Joso
na mama wate senya kokon boa ne etiasia by 2024 no minim se court Supreme Court be de ese His Excellency John Dramani Mahama be wie ne last 4 years no then nyame ncha de me wa hode tin kwamu dia I will be contesting 2024 to lead the party one day.
I don't understand that bit now. See Mahama Supreme Court be
we only have your acting president so far. So because once there's nothing there's a contest,
we don't have acting president.
Oh yes, we only went through.
There's nothing like Ghana Constitution. There's nothing like
we have an acting president right now. As we NDC for, we don't recognize His Excellency Nanado as our president. He's a president to the MPP, and we are hoping, say, Jean Mensa rigging the election for him, no. The Supreme Court, in their own wisdom, no, obey the needful and the right thing in the interest of Mother Ghana. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama be in 2024, be in the last term. Then some of us will also come out to see if we'll be given the opportunity.
Okay, all right. Honorable Akwaba.
Na
nyame adomo me hoye pa wan say. Tiefo Joso papa.
Yeah, you know no say. What we can fear you no. I will see am no. When you are I mean, she are when you are.
Mama Joso.
Permanent or better me.
Mama Joso.
Na, minia.
Atubiga.
Opeso president. Na opeso president. I'm not be here. My dream is to make parliament. No. Me fear say FN the 1992 constitution. Me read 1979 constitution. Now me share the standing orders of parliament. Me were graphic from 1956 or 1958 date. I am binding the same because now me reading me share. Now me show the history of this country, political history, no, in very graphic. It's opposite here, president. I will say what the constitution says. Say you got to aba na electoral commission.
announce say one person
we are more announce what
but you kasa na mtia
by yourself correct you yes and you court
nti say electoral commission announce we say obako awini a say wuji tumo say wenyi tumo yes one nipa ni in no ba president yes one in no ba president the presidency it binds all Ghanaians and everybody we are NDC new we are MPP new we are NDC new we are CPP new it binds you I am president na enu echi no say wo ho asem bia ne ba court until say court then make a pronouncement in otherwise no I am president of the Republic of Ghana and anything that what to me ayi ministers now both sides of the party of the members of parliament our appointment committee our vet tanka NDC and recognize Nana Addo Akufo-Addo His Excellency President the NDC minority in parliament and more appointment committees they will not be in parliament vetting his ministers. Get your facts right. The NDC recognized Nana Addo Akufo-Addo as president, and indeed he is the president of the Republic of Ghana.
Okay.
Except to say NDC were caught challenging this decision by the Electoral Commission and the Constitution.
Okay. All right. Everybody about the Supreme Court and just to remind the for MONTIE Supreme Court resume sitting on the saying atwaya and some so. I'm sure say Ghana for you share name and especially both parties and the Electoral Commission NPP ni NDC for hwese ebesi ebeko dia court no be makwan na cross examination of EC chair ebetimi abaso ana embaso yebedi no so ehun command pay but yen shas yen fi the work the appointment committee and I'll start with you honorable IP enra and I'm paying for one more shas here and minim how I mean 10 hours almost 10 hours I mean I'm up for a bit say that was too much and especially in times of COVID nyanka I'm for him okay well car bit me to try near soon but nipa ba could meet almost about 5 hours and not to say yeah to tuna no sa so far pen form ye any sequence in bisano bisaya new year by senate mount
well then I make a say yeah questions also will be done but don't know will be signed yeah 1992 constitution is say you have to have any president no be nominate ministers form minister nominees na parliament nso be committee be friend appointment committee na omato sa ministers ya no your friend vetting the what to wan anu wi a won be report na what the report no akọ parliament na parliament fi ho no ya debate ye be to ya to so aba ya to aba no wi a na fi parliament aja to mo say minister no ampa obetumi aye adwuma na abro get to qualify say obey adwuma no wi a na ye de letter atoso akoma president na president sworn in as minister enu bi na yehu na nra aye minister designate for health honorable Kwaku Agyeman Manu ena honorable Kandapa ena edu 110 say omo converting committee ni tie kakra fine na na what can be afa time no me who say questions ni bi eba no questions are enya questions we see ebisa wo vetting aye appointment committee as appointment committee members ni bi our issues what person we bisa minister for health and the opportunity to have the minister in front of them it almost won't be sad because for parliament I understand orders nature say the minister of health at the vaccine what the vaccine will be who has him the minister of health what is insurance ambulance haba yeah insurance the minister of health what is $100 million be call for combat of COVID-19 now mra the standing orders the man who can say we bachelor question akoma minister no na minister na be gina parliament or be gina box mu your friend the table of parliament Now, what beside the questions you are? You about 2 questions now, parliamentarians and what you hold both sides. Now, yeah, so question be about be minister. No, where beside just a question here, for instance, specific. But a general question say insurance for ambulance, the usage of COVID-19, 100 million.
Now, can you ever crown honorable? Sorry, and he said, so, sir, and your question we send you on Chimney. And say be a busa of vet. Yeah, no, but I'm just asking, sir, I don't know. Training, chairman of the committee allow it.
I say any question legally. A question about maybe sir. Legally and the per our standing orders. Chairman who she allow it. Don't mean get one allow.
Okay.
But maybe patch let's say. The per se a time no quiet thing if you say questions maybe sir. A questions and equally we can ask those questions in parliament.
Okay.
With the minister in the box.
Okay.
Something I can say.
Oh, chairman on the floor of parliament.
We are many honorable Muntaka. Na me person me who say ya insurance. Ambulance when I insurance ya. Any appointment committee as never seen business question. You put the question because insurance here by actually the 7th parliament in nearby. Thank you business our questions now. Anka ya mama say 5 hours. And from vet minister. 2. Sir Anka you besides our questions now. Questions in the can have minister no be week or 2 say agent question now. Now Mr. No afferent director of insurance, National Ambulance Service no. The letter no down no. Obey invite now but say give me details, information about ambulance now mother bar no. Your service in insurance for home. Road work ya kwesi dan. Tano me United Minister wa beji na parliament no. No update as whether insurance has been made or not. But if that's in the day, and no money baby. It's no money behold beside now, no back at you and say I have to go back and check. Meanwhile, no, the parliamentary questioner, I get specific on issue, the 100 million COVID-19 expenditure. Over but no why you naked written. No afraid the director of health. HCA1. I'm obia cannot send me to obey Jina Kasa. Not only New Yorker. Yes, we are minister. You must be on top of the issues. But anyway, you see, I told to say, minister no end to me anything about director session. I say, and you know what agency has had all the agencies and departments under him. Until the minister no will not be able to know everything at any time. Until now, your parliamentary question, who be sir specifically, you ask question on the certain area the minister will arm him or herself before coming to parliament. But se bedu ta exam ya testing pano nane papa bi kasa menim so lawyer or professor or lecturer. Na one na kasa na bitie mu.
Okay.
Kasa be very important. You see sir ya kase minister obi by interviewer. I was so who say nipa na kasa ba ku ebien acha within between 30 minutes to 1 hour. Se nipa na betu ya adwuma na I was so
Professor Jampo.
Very well. Not me no much discussion after that. Now me a workshop manager for Metro Mass Transit. Into a recruit drivers are not make a panel. Before then, no my road safety. Kakra. It is me the driver at next year. Omubuka no 1, 2, 3. Or something who say, this guy is a good driver or bad driver. Someone net answer maybe some questions within between 20 and 30 minutes. Or something who say, Papa we or a driver and on your driver. And you have 5 hours. And I remember who said, "Nipa to my minister, Papa. You were minister Sibia, former converting. I must who very well. I must convince you, Bia. But what the local to your Jumanana, Obuna, they also me. There's one thing saying it something, and another thing doing it. Do you mean for say, a young parliamentary questions, number more. The minister's number chamber, and answer questions no more. Then I bear. That's what converting, where a reappointment, near converting now. You better say, then you pay. Young was 7 minutes, baby, in Mr. Questions are. And can same questions, no, you better maybe, sir, at the question time in Parliament. I'm a time my best friend, and the vertis uncle for about them. Because I made the questions will be sir, and baby, or what I mean, who say, questions are. Nanka, you better maybe, sir, question time in Parliament. And can you bring very good answers from the minister than see about training your converting your kubita. But in general, no, omunyina ebo homoden. Now the honorable Akando, Ekasa, or class of men in the argument. Just ya exams are even at the university exams. Yes, when you're 40% are pass. When you B, you will C, you will B, you will B plus, you will A. Nothing say. So be for interview. Now beside 100 questions. Not me answer 60 questions correctly. I want them just pass it. That doesn't mean say. Some questions here be say minister no. But me answering 100%. And someone who say minister no. About my judgment and that's what me judgment. It's not done anywhere like that. Even in advanced democracy. Question you put it to the minister. I say these questions I need to go back, check and come back. Question you be saying about me answer right over there. Questions people have say no. This one even if I have the answer, I must seek permission from my boss. Never be why it's a cabinet decision. Cabinet in can conclude here. What you want from me now could be said of myself. It is actually who say January. Dependent to me answer. Not less than 60% of the questions are. To me, because also want to me answer 1 or 2 questions. I want to me answer. He refused to answer or give answers to 1 or 2 questions. He doesn't qualify to be approved as a minister. I disagree with that. I'm not called school university. I'm not primary school. Not me answering the questions 100%. The answer is no. You don't need to get 100%.
What's up? What's up?
You don't need to get 100%.
Difficult to defend.
Answer the word to me, I pass it. January, yes, your questions are honorable Kandapa, honorable Ajima Menu, Ebisina. They pass beyond 60%. I think, sir, January looking at them being former ministers. And the Juma Omaya, you know, the way I answer questions, I think, sir, they qualify to be approved as ministers to continue their good job.
Okay, all right. So,
Professor Jampo, I can say we are not very important.
Okay.
Okay. Young chefs, I don't know, both NDC MPP. I mean, Casemiro appointed old and experienced men as ministers. But we have equally young guys how many experience. Experience is not directly proportional to the age. But experience not directly proportional to age. Somebody can be young and very experienced. Somebody can be old and be inexperienced. It doesn't have any connection with the two men. But before say going forward, we should try to groom young men. President Kufuor in this current appointment, I'm eligible. There are 2 young MPC or 1 minister. Because in that with time,
okay. All right. May that see honorable IAP and what's in Kano. May banna or to be gone so I'm saying now no so the kakra. But before I make one so my main can comment just a few.
I will be a president. Give me the right title and I deserve it. In Jesus' name.
All right, to be got my main comment message so the minority in parliament, we all know it's their duty to ask the nominees questions, but some of these questions yesterday was not, especially Honorable Suhini and Mahama Yarga. That's how from Palestine. Now, no other Akbeda says, Kosi. So, of the lies Honorable Muntaka lied, he's still not ashamed of that, and he's working and canvassing to become a member of the National Council of Elders. Push. I'm sure you're referring to Ras Mubarak, because I don't know this Council of Elders thing. I don't think. Okay, so MC Abraham Pagie says, Kwesi, professionally, you have made me elevated the respect and trust in you as a role model in the way you apologized to Professor Jampo this morning on the show on behalf of your colleague, Efia Pokuya. That's MC Abraham with that one. Namike Papa B. Sunyani says, fellow Ghanaians, our survival to this COVID-19 pandemic is both an individual and collective responsibility. And His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has been doing everything possible in managing this pandemic. Mamike, now to this one here from Mr. Kinswama Drejri. Yesterday's vetting should tell Nana Addo and the NPP that they don't have the men. They displayed was all they displayed was ineptitude. After the inept, corrupt Nana Addo-led government failed to build one complete district hospital in 4 years, they are now promising over 100 hospitals within a year. Hey, mistaken so much do. Right, so let me pause on the messages now. Remember, right to be go Adam say now. Yan share so far vetting no. Send is yako enra ohun saying honorable Kwajima menu and ora Albert Kandapa.
Medase. Answer na min comment me pese meda the management of is it media group?
Despite group.
Despite group. Ne father Diskin. Diskin, right?
Dixon.
Say Medana say they were able to bring my favorite presenter. And I say Nana Mamba Brown her show. Me name family papa. Me do master say is the back end in her hands. But in moving forward, no. Mano da somena so a me be kasa. Mano da somena so. Mr. Ghana for Samanka ya mo fancheme. Kwasi bia betime di president. Ye betime ato kwasi bia so aba amana di president. School bia nu esu wie a utimi ye president. Na president asede ye ne se wo pese o failure anase umu amamupa. Ministers obe appoint omo no. Omo na be kire wo aboa wo ama otumebu amamupa. DC no chief executives. So the box stops with the president and says, so amamu be kwa yie anase be kwa na chi a enkrofo a wo be yi omo because wo de ne so kwa kokate sword nkrofo na dwini ma special advisors wo cabinet wo no motenase you have the conflict omo no be di abobo wo parliamentary yi a omo be tenase besides that no kra no wo sectors no kra san wo boards a wo na wo choose nti as president wo all those things at your disposal so when timi an choose nkrofo a ombe ma the right thing and as a president so no so wamamu be ko yi a national security advisor u security minister or security advisor no anapa bi on no be brief u say bunkurugu yoyo ja sekan mem kokofu anaso constituency for say the nioma e ko yi a every morning you as a president no so it is very important that certain sectors no a very crucial and very sensitive position you the president no your way forward or your backwards depends on that. Every morning before you sleep, with national security advisor, with security minister, these are the three we tell us. Omani at the day kwada another chiang. By moving forward, you know, me perceive me congratulate you or more. Ya appoint to almost omunye ministers. Ewo krom hase no because I know say waiting list in the doorso and then players in the doorso. So we unyame charge any you are. It doesn't mean say you are better than the rest. It's just an opportunity. Also when ya the amount. So to me, but whether we like it or not, somebody has to run this country. I also will be in certain positions, day-to-day activities. I congratulate Minister Kandapa. I mean, I wish him good luck. For me, I think he's been blessed because ni tenure turbulence I will go through between Mikoka Amas and Fear Botos. As he has gone through that circle, he's been able to go through what have you know, but with his presence, with his own wisdom, as a man, an opportunity. But I believe, as a minister, it's high time as president, you stop giving even ministers sectors. No, sir, you see our budget here, the moment. We should run this country like a business entity. So, we are a road minister. Also, to me, package you are Emma who say, wait me package am investor by ye kwan no na mo de toll asi ho no mo anasa wo minister you go and look for funding come and look for your award contractors and na mo de toll boot asi ho no mo you go to parliament and defend laws na wa akwaje no the same as health sector nyamencha the national health insurance na Jerry John Rollins pilot ya papa kofo ebe expand ye nyamencha the everybody is benefiting now no I think say and also no hospitals here encourage you why you can buy the equipment and what have you need more license also no operate because minu nyina yetu ya taxes no so as the communication sector people shouldn't just finish communication school ewie ebe ye adwuma obi and then if you can buy the yetimima cell phone numbers we cannot say the media your friend say media the frequencies are choked no frequencies should be able to give in to us just as saying my mobile phone numbers so that masa your friend say so yeah, you must 13 years. You have the experience. No what of console, what on your kakra, kiosk be. Now they see what no media you have the equipment and NCA come and inspect and you have what it takes. Yeah, my license. No. Yes, license a bit based on your equipment. If your frequency can go here to Tamale, they give you those type of licenses. If your frequency can go from here to Samania, the amount. But so do you know. This also creates employment. Not government near friend say the revenue. Unlike a nano frequency, I don't say cocaine. You are making frequency calls millions of dollars. What are we doing to the next generation? So as your friend, the transport sector, no, so the same thing. So we have we have 30 maybe you have 30 million Ghanaians.
Yeah, but frequency in transport here they are okay, you know. What does that one got to do with KWASI menu ni Abekandapano?
I am putting this in a loophole, say. Minister you choose no. You have to be somebody that can think outside the box. That you are bringing something to the country. You can manage your sector and create employment. Your sector should not only be narrowed, say, like national security say, if I tell you the amount of money budget at the moment is unaccounted for, and then it has no, they don't account to anybody, secure at the moment. But if that sector too can be run in such a way that it will bring in some revenue to the country, it's also a good thing we should look at, because if 15 million, 27 million Ghanaians, from all government employees, you know, they are not up to 1 million. So young agriculture only 1 million. What happens to young fans say 15 million the workforce out of the 30 million now? It means momo sector, private sector, no, and drive the economy. Aboblushi for kaya for media houses, private hospitals, tuition. I mean, they drive the economy. So you have to run the country like a business entity. So run the economy as a sole proprietorship, like as we are seeing, narrow to the Adodankwa. So within Anya Adodankwa, you don't get to benefit on certain things in this country. No, it means hardship. So choosing a minister, no, you should be choosing a minister who thinks outside the box. And a sector, no, obey at the investors, obey expand it certain, but all depends on the president. They have to be a president. You choose somebody, and say make a choice. It falls within who you can bring, who can be a team player, who can create employment for the youth, who can give hope into this country. Are you telling me, say, if government, Western housing, say, what are they doing? Why should you say government structures in the whole country? For example, there are technical schools now throughout the whole country. No, we can buy them the bitumen machines. We can buy them the graders. We can so that say you're spending millions of dollars every year acquiring N1 now. Schools soon never buy patchy holes in terms of practicals. They can go to some village and use the bulldozers, no much acquire in terms of practicals. So the government will save those monies and use it for another developmental project. Say a ministry, no 1, 2, 3 near the amount contractors on painting. I say we don't have in technical schools technicals, electricals, carpentry that they can maintain government structures or better paint now, but they go and paint in the form of a friend say practicals. And I said government vehicles at it body works your practical school, technical schools, no cars no practicals be to maintain. Do you know how much money government will save if the technical institutions are maintaining our roads, they are maintaining government vehicles? A lot of money will be saved. So all I'm trying to say, yes, it's all under the president that should make sure, say, people that you choose for them to be vetted, they have what it takes besides that. But I can also let my brother, and we all appreciate, say, your doctors and natural doctors are there, a medical school, or we are the best surgeons. But you'll be surprised that there are some medical surgeon lecturers. So, Ode, akuko funukra mom, theater, akuko fununo. Example is lawyers train lawyers to come out and be best lawyers. But there are some lawyers, they are just good in the classroom. They are not good. Omuntimin defend Okrama, sebi, defend akuko funus and powerful akuko no. They will still defend akuko no wuye. Even though you pick akuko na akuko no. So in a nutshell, no, choosing people to come and be at the vetting ground should be people that are more competent. A minister of finance, a minister of let's say minister of your friend is a minister of health cannot tell me, say, ambulance, which is a national issue, national equipment, emergency equipment, a life-saving equipment, the heartbeat of the medical sector, a lot of money being spent in it. Your government taunted it in this country, how they brought almost the best a friend is a ambulance about. And the minister cannot tell us, we are not saying tell us how much money was involved. Just tell us that are the ambulances insured, and you cannot tell us, there's a problem. The minister can eat an humble pie and no, I can say, oh, Mr. Ramo, it's not something that I thought about it and put it. But defending the indefendable, no, it's like saying, wow, but unim sakura no birth certificate and only birth certificate. And now, oh, you busa so money chop money. Yanka say busa say send your money chop money, no. It's a basic thing that those equipments have to be insured. Yanka say busa say send our more you chop money and now, oh sorry, I send out to fuel. Does cars need fuel? Yes. Does some cars have diesel? No. I use diesel, yes. Don't say you don't cars. So it's being on your health personnel or your accountant by profession. And I appreciate me born abaso debi as a politician, you should be able to manage all sector. Into whether we need health background nipa but he should know the basics. You should be able to mention certain hospitals that are crying that needs basic infrastructure. And also to me who say whether the ambulance service no cry, say cry now break it down. Because you should know districts no cry they buy. Also minister as minister minim say me president e de no bi e ka so e de tonte for the re-election. And I'm a so you should know it is a caveat on him you cannot also you should know you should do a postmortem on it and know the basic our insurance you maintain it na say a work kwan ho a see workshop na any accident no mismanage no constituencies there na ni nyina ni dey say as a minister you should these are basic things that a minister should know. This is not something that like excuse my language Oslo being honey just going to sit on a candle slab and getting orgasm. This is not that. Okay, this is something that the minister should know. That very important. That every sector, how many hospitals your president can build, not campaigns is how many they will build. You know, politics, pull the people, organize the people, liberate the people, your friends say, transform the people, interact with the people, and counsel them. But during campaigning, the T is used by all politicians to trick the people. Okay? But once your T should be transforming the people. So the ministers in question, like the health minister, should know at his fingertips. Say, I have this number of vehicles running. I have this number of vehicles that don't even have. Only say I can't ambulance. Over to me, your friend is saying, Okada crowd to ambulance. It is a new man who do Saka and Munamanda ambulance. And I'm a boy. It is Mpana Udisimu, oxygen Udisim, the first aid kits Udisim. That makes it an over to me, your friend say, Benz bus, and I say, VIP bus turning into ambulance. So she knows that equipment so me ambulance how many of them that are not functioning. So and don't forget this minister is not a former just an ordinary person to say me to be made the word okay now or a minister who held that position. So he should not be protected. The minister should be able to tell us certain places onim se omojia wokra we diase certain cheap compounds require treating how to say basic clinics. So these are something that no minister should be padded at the back.
Okay.
They should be on top of their games. Especially a political appointment, 9 out of 10 has nothing to do with your profession. You, for instance, minimum, but based on what you've spoken, you'll be a very good transport minister. Because I know, you, besides being that, you know how to handle the equipment. But that doesn't mean you do call roads and highways. Sir. You have the knowledge to know, so can be certain locations. Sir. The asphalt should be this thick. I get where I'm coming from. So you should be on top of your game. For instance, there is no master for any knowledge on all of it. The president hasn't got knowledge from all the sectors. He has a specialty. But a president should know, me de esume siba obebua me de esume siba endim wa me.
Medasi Stephen Atubiga be honorable member so mamin kan message ka bi atemu pa tete from Sunyani Apaso says in 2013 represented pink sheets as our evidence. In 2021, tell us any pink sheet NDC has submitted apart from their witness statement that with that one now one here says Kwasi, in fact the interview you conducting this morning is very interesting and nice. Keep it up. God bless you. That's Yafrin Pom from Agunanya Chrome. Kwasi, the suspension of Koko Anyido is long overdue because it's recent conduct were not helping the NDC party. Simon Azaliko from Agbogwa EP down. Tell the expert that you interview, your interview, you also agree with their knowledge or opinions, and subject to critic by other knowledge or opinions. Even the court verdict criticized. Do you remember your interview with Baba Jama, a concerned Ghanaian? I didn't really quite connect with what you were trying to say, but I read it all the same. Now, I'm Maxwell Owusu from Asante Bekoa, France. So for a long time, these MPs have all these important questions, and they were asking people about their CVs or question concerning their CVs. That's one here from Maxwell. Opari from Zoom says, I thank God that today I'm alive. I don't understand the petitioners' lawyers. You went to court with our pink sheet. They should give us a break. Protect yourself. That's one here from Opari. You see, I don't understand the minority because they are not men enough and truly indecisive party. They boycotted presidential inauguration. Why are they going for the vetting? Is it because of a certain allowance that's uncallable from Tema? All right, so on a YP.
Yeah, very quick one.
Uh-huh.
Won't mean running a country like a limited liability company. Then many are saying within It's not to say there were social intervention programs. For instance, road if you buy make for instance, a cover a pure also cover mango 15 kilometers. Would invest a BS on Quest road. No on fat to into Snony's car on ye. It has a car in there. So Nipa was a honor me a Ghanaian. I was say one or buy what you know, what the bar market, nine I will croom so yenya bidi. I was say a bank way. Into Yaka running a country like a limited liability company now. Near say there should be other social interventions. It took us a minister and you have ministry in man. Me a man the budget to be a. How can you run a ministry? For instance, Ministry of Education. The IGF ben no generating. You have Ministry of National Security. IGF ben no generating. I was saying, what the system na say? Near IGF if ministry ba budget parliament approve man. Loans are OJ from development partners. That no matter where you know the carbon the other managing ministry. It is also about limited ability company. It means budget the parliament but I will see a stop. Development partners I will see a stop. Near concentrate only on IGF and maybe quote unquote development partners because no can loans near the other. That no matter when we are, you must generate enough IGF to pay. Now, road be the talk or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and a car back fast. How do you generate the IGF? It's movement governance. Also, so many presidents, you don't know about it. Now, how the system is being governed. And yes, sir, we can some now paper, so, sir. Sure. So, what can see?
Just a rebuttal on Team Patriot. Yes, spend the time too much.
Never point also can see. Say your baby sir minister. I was say minister in your baby. Your issues be to say number of hospitals are you building? And minister should be able to tell us to say your hospitals you basic 88. Say the Asha, say the Asha. I agree. But there's an agency called National Ambulance Service. Director Dano. What's up about ministry you are? Yes, someone director or you're in charge of National Ambulance Service, sir. The director of National Ambulance Service, such questions, you know. I will say a parliamentary question. No minister no to me, after director no. No after director of National Ambulance Service. No to me information, credible information. Oh, because I say maybe final no. It should be credible enough for the country to rely on. To be the make sure say questions may be so. But in national questions need be one parliamentary questions. I was Sanka. They be sound of parliament. Nienya. Vivid answer now.
Okay.
Clear answers.
Quickly, Mr. Atubigana person can be.
Government has no business going to say Okwa build low income houses. Who determine who is a low income earner? Who do it? But yeah, my MPCC here today that he has lost his seat. If he, as he knows his constraints very well, no, when you say be accommodation, say police or soldier for, he can bring your friends saying proposal to government, okay? Then government say we are more contract, you know, go and then guarantee for you to have the resources and go and build those houses. Those you can sell, those you can rent. You know what your government is expanding. The government must budget ni free. And he can tell them, say, run your sector as a business entity and generate something. Every sector you can generate money. My example, health sector, say, certain diseases, you can social intervention program. We have reached a certain level, say, kidney, dialysis, heart disease. So those are supposed to be government priority that has to be free in this country. And I see somebody at Kwalebu. Now, you've not had a family.
the budget of government and how expensive some
because
of these
I know because I want to run this country upstate. There's different what you are doing today. You are doing postmortem on issues. I can tell yes, I want to run this country today. And I know you don't have that.
So Ghana for Mutie Montuma Oratu.
Before I go down.
Yeah.
How much you need
my brother, me and you can go on that tangent. We are not going about that. My brother, this is not about testing vehicles. We are talking about the country, not testing vehicles. What I want you to know is say any country that will go banks, your country will not flourish. Singapore population is about 6 million. Okay, they have 365 banks. Ghana, Singapore, they are 6 million. Yes, they have 3. Oh, listen to me, my brother. Let's talk. You are a former member of parliament. Behave.
Okay.
Let me teach you.
No.
I haven't landed.
No.
Listen, your listeners are listening. At least let me land.
Yeah,
1 minute.
Yeah.
Singapore population is not more than 6 million population. Put me on record. They have 364 banks. Ghana population, if you don't know, I'm telling you, Google, take your phone and prove me wrong. Ghana population of 30 million. We should have more banks because your banks here now this is Google. There are some banks, they are auto banks. And there's our transportation to fee 200 Ghana a day. Those banks, because they are strictly transportation banks, they can give you a loan. I'm making, yes. And there are banks that are real estate. Banks that are strictly for market women, banks that are for agriculture, banks that are for all the sectors will have banks. And there are banks that you can also come and take a loan, certain percentage and go. Let me school you of how to run a country. Let me school you.
Sami Buachi from Asamankasi says, today nothing will change and Jane Mensah will not mount any witness box. Mahama-led NDC should find a better way of proving their case. He who alleges must prove. That's one from Sami Buachi, Asamankasi. Now, in Shaba Anelka from Ashaman constituency, the NDC legal team couldn't present a single evidence to prove that no candidate got more than 50%. All is a waste of time and the NDC propaganda. That's in Shaba Anelka. Hussein Salif says there should be a statute of Akutampa in all the 16 regions for our children. Statute, okay. For our children to know that there was a lawyer who was a repository of legal knowledge. If you say in Salifu without one. Kasamankasi says the Supreme Court justices told Chachuchi Kata he can hold his questions and ask them during the cross-examination. So what has changed? Jane Mensah gave Ghanaians 4 different results out of just one election. Frankly speaking, I think both Ajimamenu and Abet Kandapa should have been relegated to the bench. With Ajimamenu, I think his health condition is not too good. And yesterday, Masa, Unela Ampansa, are you a doctor? Do you know his health condition for you to be making all that? So, yeah, Homesu na you come on and for a Supreme Court, make us say, yeah, or Matna say, election petition, you know. I'm just saying, fuse to get. Election petition, how much I say?
Yes, Midasipi. I think say you will cry Juma. Then Supreme Court is an institution that you and I, our taxes that is being paid or that is being used to run that institution. And the Supreme Court justices and the judicial system, they are not above constructive criticism. A judge makes mistakes just as a doctor can give wrong diagnosis to somebody. A nurse can give wrong medication. A driver can make wrong judgment and make a wrong U-turn. Lawyers can defend the indefendable and all that. And I think, say yes, a Supreme Court and yet death chamber. And I think the posture of the Supreme Court, justices, the whole world is watching. The whole nation is watching. And I don't think, say, it was very wrong for the NDC going to the Supreme Court to seek justice. And I don't think the justices to Omo demeanor and their posture cannot be criticized constructively. And I think, say, Jane Mensah and yet above the law. Jane Mensah is being paid with our taxpayers' money. Jane Mensah serves you and I. Jane Mensah and the final person EC chair lady or BBI announce who should lead this country. Jane Mensah and handling the only credible, feasible, fragile institution aka protect your democracy no na EC no EC institution I did to me amo independently no, and then Jean Mensa has turned it into a party office, has turned the EC institution to a party machinery, MPP party machinery, because the predecessors they are working freely. So Jani police ni bi odi obechi. And the judges no, they also have a responsibility to satisfy me Atubiga. It doesn't matter whether NDC or MPP. They'll declare whether John Dramani or elect should come and sit and tell us, say, me the 1, 2, 3 in the count when I'm declare president way, acting president Nanado as a president. And I'm a numbers 6 times no. These are the reasons why I'm meeting Mrs. figures no. But it makes sense for me as a Ghanaian, not as an NDC member, to know say yes, and then 2, to also let the 6 million Ghanaians TC free, I mean TC street 6 million Ghanaians vote to my MPP no. If we decide to come to the street, this country will be ungovernable. This country will be at a standstill. Peaceful, just coming out, not doing anything. That Jean Mensa should know, say, it is in her hands to let the justices that we have invested the justice powers in them to deliver justice to average Ghanaian, no, to save us from going there. No, Adukwe must voluntarily come into the box and say A, B, C, then I'm declare case closed. So as the justices should also look at, say, the Supreme Court, beyond the Supreme Court, the Ghanaians are watching. They are to serve us. They are to save us. They are to protect this country and protect the justice that has also been imposed in them to deliver justice. And they say it should be credible. It should be very comfortable from them doing it. And at the same time, no, it should be more Ghanaian, the spirit of Ghanaian, not the spirit of NDC or MPP. And sometimes as politicians, I will say back away from our political colors and speak Yankasa in the interest of the nation, not in the interest of an individual. I can be politically biased, party apparatchik or whatever you can call it, or go down like a foot soldier or go down like a social commentator, ordinary social, and then be blind in defending my party or going against my party. Some of us have grown beyond that. But the justices that are sitting now, NDC and MPP, NDC has come to them for justice. To me, I have a problem. I think, say, there should be a reform in this country, say, like other countries. Say, Otuaba, we are. EC chair no ontimi and declare a resource no. The judicial system, you choose whether the Supreme Court or the High Court, or the resource member. No mama, a certain number of hours. Who are any grievances, come and put it on the table. Then the High Court will look at it. Then if they can resolve it, then they'll give the okay, say mama no or papa no, we in charge no. Koneko announce. If it's beyond their control certain hours, then Supreme Court automatically takes over and take the decision. By so doing, we avoid what is happening today. I want to thank Omo Motimia is 42 days no. Let's assume says and come on days and Koswa. Ebe court is 2023 now course for 8 months. It brought this country into a standstill. So it means yes, I reform new now. Then at the same time, and both NDC and MPP, we have let this country down because if we had done some reforms and put the interests of the nation first, be it NDC and MPP, the examples kakreya because of embrace, Ankene, Obi and sorry, Emba Supreme Court say
1 minute, Nisi for my
yes, Yentimi Emba Supreme Court say but in moving forward, no, I think say to be beautiful. Those Supreme Court justices, no, their name will forever remain in the history of this country if they allow the woman to sit in that box and tell we Ghanaians, it is not all questions that she has to answer. That's what more lawyers know. Anything beyond her control. And thank God, I'm told she's a lawyer in profession by Anamebwa. Yes. So she should be able to know when to pull the brakes, when to move. But the woman is not beyond being in that box. And the Supreme Court justices will be doing this country a disservice, whichever angle they look. Multi-man security now on 24 hours. Why can't she be in a mere empty box to look us in the face just as we declare election, to tell us, NDC lost, NDC won, President Nanado won, President Nanado lost, or he eat a humble pie, say, I will go back and do my homework, I will listen to IPAC, I will listen to the your friend said the political parties. If I'm not able to resolve it, we will come back. Can I be given that opportunity? She has that right.
Okay.
And the petitioners will have the right to say, so, okay, we will hold back and discontinue. But we think, say, Ghanaians deserve to see that woman in the box. If not, the judges will be cowardly. I'm using the word cowardly, shielding her. Whatever they are trying to do, this country, we are watching them.
Oh, they are all Supreme Court then too.
We are watching them.
Mami Mra, on why you peace.
Court in your baby, a bunkro. Nkro in the just agudi. Court your baby, the we mean so. We need evidence. Adansidi, won't court. Obi to make a court. Yes, it we are brother. What's mean we are brother? Obeka, Bella could pempen sudino. Judge and Bekasi. Me where we are broad into me do if you are free share being. Into both a court reporters and were reporting my young Bekasi. He pleaded not guilty, but was sentenced to 2 years imprisonment with hard labor. The underlying word near pleaded not guilty. I didn't know on your guilty in your sentence. Your sentence because evidence said that judge unanimously said brother no yai. Into court, I was say when so when evidence when you dance di. Me and him say can this for kono. We be one calculations nyina. No dey akoto court na nimu say. Yatu aba no wie no. Madam Jemensa had the results we never too gba. Na young NDC for yatna yen strong room. Yen aye set as a party. Pink she say je ni nyina. Calculations ye ni nyina. Regional results e buy no. Family she say fi region buy no. Ni ye kaka bo mu no. Ni ye nyan ni. Na ye nyina so no say. Ni ye nyan no ye kaka bo mu a. Obi a ni nkunu nti no aba no yankoto foforo. Eho ananka judges no be say electoral commission. Asema NDC dia betu gwani. Wo say figures a wo wonya ni. Begin adaka mu. Ni emi saw say self figures yi. Ana won so wodi a de tu gwa no nsam kan bi wo ho ana. As we speak, NDC share down far figures bia enkoto Supreme Court na nim ye. Imo mo nam radio so ana wakeka ana all the touchman self ko kan we hu a ana all the way ko kan we hu a na na me enura na adwo me tie mu sister station peace from on program be friend platform NDC ni ana kasa wo so oh no akeka figures bia bo pasa figures ne koma court no so we nyina so ya pasa figures ne ko nyina Supreme Court anim anka mra ya frɛ onabo asi edi nketia any other witness ni ko gyina box ni mu no ana wotumi keka figures bubu mu na figures ni ya convincing figures a Supreme Court ni je say figures yi the electoral commission somebody no proof or deny these figures we gyina box me dey na ye nyina ya tena court mu ebi asem pan ye nyina ya tena himfi mi nua gwasi abale se wo koka wa asem wa himfi ekosam no bi na obo nkro wie na nipa na wo kosam na no o se mini asem bi aka na nia nipa no nkro no obo no gyina so na fa bu atan a anka nipa na odi asem no court odi kan bo no so san ko mena nije o san ko bo ni nsem nia ya kan se mo na musi ya wia elections mu e de mana na do ana makoka ma asem mo ko ma fa figure bi anko mo ka ma asem wie no ana musi ya ma na nado witness ana Madam Jemensa witness be gina daka mu yes ye ni asem bi aka Supreme Court no nhwe nsem a mode ba no se nyina so bi wo so ya won nyina sa nyina so no so fa mu asem no e de san kan disi fu huru san kan disi fu mo ngani je e san se mu wa asem papa mu je disi mo de to Supreme Court nanim e Supreme Court be to me gina sa asem no so abu ade a ana na musua ne ne yawan e san se won akasa wo je disi aso wo de court na ni nyina so bonga wo je disi bonga ntumi afa convincing figure bia anko bonga wo je disi bonga ntumi afa pink sheet some issues from the 16 regions no antumi ankeka momu anya nyina so bia agasa elections no wo wini ana so bonga wini ni nti wo pese Jemensa me gina dakam me dwene ho amenti ase me wo de me akọ me se me ni adanse bia me ntumi me di adanse nti wa asem a wo de court no court ni nyina wa asem do so no fa mu a mo ha ne yawan esi kwanga Madam Jemensa efa so release results no figures ne yank ye ni hu asem o na mum constitutionally no wa fa kwampa so nti court no kase Madam Jemensa bra figures na wo tu gba no and this was when figures ne hu asem na mo kwanga wo fa so the figures ni two gwa no and they are unconstitutional. Into go back. Na go for constitutions na wo ka no so. The act in that constitution no na fa sa figures to go one kuma beto won yama na. And this will be jatum. I don't know what to call court to. Into mo asem na mo to call court no. Would to Benkuma and Nado your president. Would to Fifi and Nado your president. Would to Benkuma and Nado your president. Into mo how I dream mo delay time. If I should be end this so. As I say, baby, I would have somebody to be a me Supreme Court as someone. No more judgment to be a Supreme Court by maybe Nanado because I president in this term. The second term will be checked because Supreme Court could just be a mecum. Once some mother court, no, I don't know Supreme Court to be a number one. This figure be a chira say Nana Ado Dankwa, and 50 plus 1%. 50% plus 1. It is a Supreme Court in the case. One figure be ama. It is electoral commission figure and we say no na rely on. It electoral commission if any figures in Koya Juma and Ado president. Muse Kwanga electoral commission far so now so figure no and your constitutional. It is Supreme Court case okay. Madam Jemensa, go and read that act in the constitution. Na Kwanga was a far so but accounts what the results need to go. Some fact to go be so Supreme Court to rule is Nanado a president. Sir, what can say? Nanado, Madam Jimensa.
1 more minute, Mbacho.
You, Madam Jimensa. Nanado say, people say, Yeni assembly aka. Inti nyina so amode ba court no. Mo asem a mo kan no. Supreme Court nyina so no fa muya asem no. The Supreme Court gyina sa asem no so ya. Mo say mo rely on electoral commission figures no. It is a Supreme Court to gas assembly and Nanado a president. It is them party in this work. Well, court said then. That's assembly be a son, Mujman is saying. That's be a saying a biara Supreme Court in favor of you, in favor of NDC, no, Nanado be a president. So we'll gas some in favor. Me find some case somebody because Supreme Court will be a bench. The Supreme Court can say there be abroad. The one who calls we are banching a Supreme Court be able say you or you for we are brother. It's in the mother quano, and then the Supreme Court be buya. In some mother quano, the Supreme Court to be something in your favor. Nanado will continue to be the president of the Republic of Ghana. It's me minimum at the and this if person would delay Ghana.
Okay.
Come for nothing. Okay. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm sure so kind of Krata you see the reliefs omo here, but my main kind na me beji closing comments na yampon anope Musa Abato Kumasi we are appealing to the Supreme Court to consider the interest of seeking truth and justice by allowing Jane Mensah to mount to the witness box and testify. Hence, she must account to the for her stewardship. Lovely Akosia from Kaswa says members of the NDC are simply confused. They have already made Chikata a bad lawyer by asking him to work on a bad case. Now they want to play around the reputation of very competent Madam Jane Mensah. Lovely Akosia. What Mr. Mahama and his legal team are going through at the Supreme Court gives me a self-feeling that Ghana indeed has a robust judicial system of which no one can ride over them. The justices have shown that the Supreme Court is a place of law, fact, and evidence instead of propaganda and hearsay. Okroyeboa, Breman Benin. Mr. Chikata knows that victory is Nanado's, but he is wasting for President Mahama and the NDC's time and chopping Mahama's money for free. Ko Mensah Pillar 2. Whether the EC sent the last witnesses to the petitioner as regards to the outcome of the elections, the two have still shown indiscretion for failing to monitor the entire declaration process on behalf of the petitioner, telling the court that both obey the errand by the EC in good faith is not an excuse which should affect the outcome of the results. Osekweku ewo UK NOD ano ebaye. Are the NDC lawyers and communicators trying to interpret to us a court proceeding different from what we all watch on TV and listen to on radio? Are they suggesting that until we all become lawyers, we can't understand anything law? kindly tell them that a competent court of jurisdiction is not the same as a party's headquarters where tantrums and propaganda are allowed. Let's get serious. Ijomo Pokiase Festus. Right. So, closing comment. Yanjinfi painful, I'm saying.
Medasipi, me jidi se miniano, me bra penyi law no on tiasie because nka otiasie yi obi timi ye bone kro no timi ko die wu no no ankasa kro adwane akọ adwane akọ police station se me die wu mo nchime ana se but in a nutshell no enye wo fact eno evidence nko ena ma of victory as a ma of victory and judges edidi wasem ntina ebi wo ha your jury na ebi won so na the decision is in the bosom of the justices no. So yes, asantefo obebu obi say the hu se pepeni efra kuntunkuni edi asante hinenim ebedwem esado a either ope zongo hinedi ana ope ohinkoa bi aware na adan ne ba adane audition e wo man mu ho. That is what my brother is doing. The best thing that happened in this country no yes NDC say John Dramani Mahama incoming president very soon a court justices no energy mensa no onye ono anu tumi no odete honomo. And besides that no ya court to say figures new if I want to correct him ya court to say so figures na Jim Mensa added together declare president now it is not adding up. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't give His Excellency Nanado. I'm giving him His Excellency because he's been president before. I am also saying, sir, my brother, let me speak. We didn't also go to court. We went to court. My brother, let me speak. You've been a member of parliament before, so behave. I am saying that, may say in this country, NDC court. My brother, let me speak. I'll do you the same when you are speaking, so don't worry. I'll do you the same thing. I'll do you the same thing. I'll do the same thing when you start speaking. Yeah, court with the figures. We went to court with the figures that the EC used to declare acting president Nanado president. We used the figures that she changed the second time to make sure it doesn't add up. Yeah, you saw no one casa figures the third time, fourth time, fifth time. My minister, your friend say results no, it doesn't add up. And a court to see yeah fire figures embra. And his noble, intelligent, integrous, responsible General Mosquito Asiedun Ketia did not have figures because the NDC doesn't see it necessary. Say you figures in the court because you rely on Jean Mensa and Casa figures now, or they declare His Excellency, acting President Nanado as president. So that we are telling the court say all those figures, all those figures doesn't add up. So
we have nothing like
my party leadership and my party structure. I am following my party. It is my right to say that.
You don't have that right.
But you can. The president of the Republic of Ghana. I'm not ready to go down that tangent with you. That is your opinion.
Yeah,
that is your opinion.
I'm sure
not an acting president.
I'm sure incorrigible.
Look,
because when I'm correcting about this,
look,
he keeps saying it.
It is. I also want you to know, say, and a serious country like other countries to say. Mali and other countries, Sudan, your friend is by now, no. Senka, your friend is my brother. Behave. We are on air. If you disrespect, not disrespect you. No, I'm not correcting. He's going personal. He's going personal. He's going personal. No, my brother, no. You also you are. When I hear you, my brother, you are. You told said they should. But you told me. You told me said they should. Who are you to stop me from?
There's something basic.
Who are you to stop me from saying that? Your anus is too small. No. Who are you?
Let's know.
Who are you?
You also sick.
No.
Let's know.
You also sick.
No.
Check yourself.
Atubiga.
It doesn't matter.
I've achieved a lot more.
It doesn't matter.
Nonsense. You are sick. You are sick to your bone marrow. Nonsense.
Ghana Montie. All the samba Kasia Amaya Kasia Waje Onye Yimu no Cretrodo Kamadine Men Kamadine Bo Mama Yentie ABOAGYE 100.9.
Kwesi Bonkwe.
Eje for me fan cheme ba yentimi nto aso ye de be si hanum say na ya jemo course kakra na pay. Na unim say na anu ya na be mfie be num kese honorable Joseph Boakye Danko edu ewu ye na ensem bi a okunuafo na akotwro no akotwro kese nyansam keto awo Odious answer me chire be di hon komo bata no pay e ba be jim course kakra 0302243540 0302257902 empenifo nka aye mano se me twa tokra me ba be gina otimi yes man hwe anka blows kra me two blows for hasenti se metimi twa so na yan jim course hello ya mpacha frase
ABOAGYE
yeah
anopɛ nyame awi ɛna nka ho
even council
your friend Nana Mwako mekasa bi asu ɛwɔ Eastern Region akwasi anopɛ ma menchi aye niwura ABOAGYE Japan baabi obi ano metia no ɛne adwuma soma ɔyɛ ma ɔman Ghana na memmɔ ɔmampɛ na bank go nsa so na ɛyɛ true cost asɛm a ɛkɔ so ya ɛnɛ deɛ yɛse really naba atemu aba sɛ yɛba megye isi chair no anya deɛ ɔbɛtena adaka mu biara ama yɛbisɛbisɛ ne nsɛm biara because asɛm a ɛyɛ sɔre kɔ court no na enyinaso biara nim wɔn amfa nyinaso biara nkɔ obi a yakɔto aba ofi awia wo wɔn amfa pinchi kankɔ yɛbisɛ yɛpɛ sɛ ne nketewa sɛ ɛyɛ asɛm a wɔde aba court no kolesi a woyɛ sɛn na wonyaeɛ a wosi wɔn amfa ɛno amma court yɛbisɛ yɛpɛ kufa do nyaasɛn wosi wo nim Papa, the mama Yasema, and Yasena, who see winning. More Mukulia, Moya, then I'm going to have from Korean media. That is in Yazubian. That will be your court, our court, our assassin, or whatever. And they're going to go with any vote any case. No matter the media say, yes, from COVID now, about nothing. Oh, Pia, show no smart, football or buying, because no smart in the idea of which my share their bone when I move with your phone buying. Near simple ones, almost a crew. Okay, be share what oh the no smart no. Yama prayer any show. The move you get them because Omanga and get and more you I want pa. Near the with you. Near Gaja at leader said. So ni akuma or the best studio abe programmer. Mama name no studio.
Medase, so Maminji, no do honum see on soon but meanwhile, Mami for infantu just said, Supreme Court in unanimous decision, just only in our Benkrum. I want more just Obia to me share Jin Mensa. Say one court, Chinchia, Womagina, Adakam, Numbe, Yambusibs and empty. Supreme Court ruling, no, and one more chance here, no. Hello?
And Jonathan, Abazi,
yeah.
Abazi, Nanjamete on Gajo, and I want to say,
Yami Adarma, me hoya pa, sir.
Boko, don't Bako Casano.
There be you.
Hey, I could see you, Yami, my Jerry and Gumbi. The Libya, the woman of the MP, your friend on about that one new man.
Ah, Sam, I mean, I know him for fair fellow.
The fair fellow, oh, more. But that we have to do my deals, what is
Mate.
After the battle, when you are down, I will video to the one crack. I know the one this way.
Papa.
Now, Capo Bacono, what is don't say I in a new year.
How was him?
Oh, because in the old Balam, you come on the way, you want to say, I'm in the crowd. What one of this will I'm just a Capo Bacono because Madame will be I'm in the war or to bury a pet. Okay, 3 hours and a nom, 3 cap back. And no crowd was the answer to see and come. I was the catching and this before and putting for my mistake. Me say, almost that I almost supported. But me after one and no can no one can jump electoral area. Police station, I'm just so I JB. But you don't surprise me, I'm going to do. Yes, what would you not? Who cried when I lost you? I made you home. But if I don't know crowd now, so when you see this one, you don't. Was the electoral commission now? Before the other election, no one you know. Most of what you come for, all by baby, register for all your grano, who can't still be now for Tono. And then you want to walk one office, who quite one for Tono. I'm not going to something, you saw for this year, so I'm a team cabo back. I'm not this kid and gown. Which letter we are here at the moment party, our unity, because me and Yanni collaborate for Gobo, yes, I will are here. On the equity, me say. And you never make a check, and everybody I have said, on Panina Dama and Casano, when you say about when you're going to forget woman, but we then you're going to forget what and you're not doing so. Oh, I better education. I buy a 2 man and I don't go to make everybody and so many because we didn't have a papa and now the upper and about time you have to go to and for toy and toma and you go back to school. Now, my pay and the bagana for and so, but and this is one no more. Oh, my God, people, so come. I was be with your nephew. The physical and Kuma Peso, everything Nanado Peso, what do you have to do 1 gallon? Also, the crowd. Nanado, and the Ghana for whom you need to.
May I say, Mammy find your deal say, no, me John, so I drink here. Hello? Yeah, you know, Patrick to say.
Why they're not?
Mammy, mean to you.
So for my dominion.
Okay, so for Mammy and you.
Request, and then say, we're saying more things. Emma Raza Kujuku, maybe a branch in India Mexian. Namentia NPC Abanga, aka Ubia, a branch in the Superman. Request, they make a check Ghana for COVID, the best threat. They are more than the protocol in pages. So, young woman says the second breakfast would take care of my. As an Italian, no matter you do. That was no prohibiting, and when you see where you first watch me, your best threat. Then I can't for lockdown. I'm a new the phone, and pass and papa and broadband. It's your best thing, I am going home by then, dear, who pay a just away. Then me go to 2 quarters and say, Missy will in a banana young one. No, we all will see about one Tabaka Syrian. We'll see cause to them about or see who you. No, dear, what you're going for, no, don't go for the police station. Now the conformal police station, this is saying the young woman, you need to be serious. Sanko no for Gina at that time, my agent Romani Mahama, not so good one. Yeah, no, uncle won't write this over to get mess and to make now at that kind. Now, what's the course of them will do? Who's also been making at that community to Nano? Just obeying a one thing, I went here, and I so be giant with TJ. And this is for me, and this is supported. Then this is for movies to abandon movie for all. Now, putting for me that down. Now, Ghana for 2024, when this is drink a baby must cry away and what? That was a big thing, I know being right.
Yeah, that's it. Mami fa yeah you do on say on also mention agent. Hello.
Mini abama kwasi awade darling boy.
Yana bo nso say.
Abati fosi de kana me mano mo we de.
Yami o.
This way no do ko take no woman bin ko mano. Kata na Roma. Kwasi de man fanti so. Na nyamia bo so man pani PS na ko du take de. Na me nyamia over Friday. Na me fe man vanko school what? Madam Roma you sha go fidi so. We know my language is something. I'm so switch some for man. Transport minister Domon Piasi so maintaining and idea me da a dam usage boss. And gives you a walk on of my mini boadia do. Or better do to home. I'm a near my quest. I was the American say, sorry, and your mammy, Menunquana, only for the Juma. Now, some me or this about neighbors layman like me. Many someone. And automatically say, Chinchina, Minquana say, oh, where young quite Johnny Abua. And your dear mammy said, what Johnny dear? The Chinchina come. That's what in them crop for. Some mamma, so much when Uncle Phoebe, as Shannon, I was answer more. And Miss Aka, your more tongue, yes, a former for Doctor or Benful Apologize. Was say, Poland statue, I saw your vigilant. Station, your vigilant, or I'm on a floor. Now, I told you, or be any bra or Mampany, I put the minister for Amoye vet. Yeah, but can say, yes, to Mam Puntuacoso. Someone a sharp patrol for Madame Namoshada at to patrol. Mount Finance Minister, you know, and I'm going to yes, and you're fair. When you're found, they could talk it. Move, Ghana for no buoy. Then we are the Master Ghana for and Fakuma and Piebo. Near Mom Penidia go minister a year point. We make sure some of them bless you by your drum or Mampenny, no big Bob answer, who feel form and son of Oba. Shall we come? No fuck my penny. Said the bear 2025 going, you know, or be a collection of taking it to the Biblia or common, no man, and your mom and penny, I'm very kind and any day. That's what I'm Pimano. That's a alcohol. God said, Jack, for a houses. A camera more to someone penny ben. And you're gonna scar. A minister, no more. A Juma former and when we are in. Go to assume you. Never come on my eye. What is to with the media?
Yeah, that's it. Maminfa ayen you chat to cry. And let me just put it across again. Me found you just ATF for MONTIE is Supreme Court and pay atna say omodium ruling aba efa se Jane Mensa obetimi akwadaka num akwakosa na ntimi nkwadaka num kwankokasa unanimously say omunyina ko benkro mo say enya ade a obi abetimi ahye ne say nko gina adaka num na ombe yembuse bisa ne nsem enti baako a yenya ante ne say uracha chichiti kata say ani ombe Supreme na no say upompo baba kasa by force yemfa oni otwato kra ne fa course ni hello
Mira.
Yeah, but you want it.
This is the old barrier, ice block.
Okay, ice block run near Minty on a pair.
What to say?
Me who your partner, no me TV chacha, man for that ice block run is out, you know.
Answer ice block don't like to go to the Diana. Be a person, not light off and not in the studio. Answer Uruhana or your program. Now, or Pebidia group, names and so. Oh, and you know, me and I can jacket here, plenty rubber. I don't know, maybe near the rubber can see and get wedding now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll look at our old barrier, yeah, we'll be out of travel.
Okay. Yentio.
That's on my address, Medase.
Miss Medase, pa.
Nakaka, can say, Yedi kind, I'm not gonna Mampaniase. Since I am a bano, and you know, when you go, Yanko and Shirano, the Danistipa, Ubianca, the top blog here. Kabere maba etinya ko piele gon me bomba e take twa na o dogo no nso nyanko pon ka no ho na me wura me ka bi kakra fa yare ya be mesre yare na me enfa ni agro ninu nze Ghana for yare ya so den dodo eti to bi aso den a yema emra ni no na emra di wa o say yes emra di wo hwe ye ni anwan di for ebra no mo abonte no ma no de papa yawia yen omko je Supreme Court ni wura no kasa ni TV ho na me show wo to say yes emema adane ma eti Ghana for no say de aso den ya de a ade ya te ase pa se be hwe yi eti no ebeboa na me wura me pa chawo asam ni de be bia kika kweri asam be bio ko meta lu su biebo because ni mo bia dio wo je de wa di ko ya ni nyina ni se e ya simple Ghana ha ya kwato abalo e ko se go mampani da da ma man ko da Ghana fo nyina ke yenta go do ma se ni se e bra na ya fra wa de ku kwa na te u do mi ko no ni ya fra o dai no wa ko da u do mi e bra na wan kasa wo te so wo da fadie wo police wo sika wo bibia kwa no Ghana for to about over 1 million and a this year and now opposition na so te ba 500 and ko den ko mampani na da ma man ko kwa sorry dem na ko to correction ko bonus ya for here e de Ghana for wo de wa nya ni sa wo tam ye de ko score see asa wi a je da ko ya na ji say o be wi ni we de be sra Ghana for 2024 the NDC for ye Ghana for nyina mi enkamom ni entu abe mo du to ave NDC na next time mo to opposition ho 20 years o me ba na Ghana ye de ni wura oni nya me nya adwuma
yɛda ase hanam sei na yɛde bɛsi anɔpɛi mo a motie adwumadie bi nyame nhyira m papaapa mo a mofrɛ yɛn nso yɛda ase moni hɔ adwumadie ni hɔnom sei wode message nso baeɛ a yɛni sɔ papaapa sɛnea ti yɛno da biara da no ɛnkyɛ yɛde nnwom ɛba bɛtoa so ɛde ama mo na adeɛ sɛnea ɛsi akɔ yɛ deɛ wotim sɛ ɛnya nyɛ yie de no ho agye mu a ne sa na adeɛ no Supreme Court ɛnya akasa awie 7-0 yɛasɛm o 7-0 na wotumi sɛ ɛnyɛ Supreme Court asɛm yɛ ɛkɔ so paa communication director of the presidency ora Eugene Ahen na ɛmhyɛ nkrataa bi fa wadegya yɛ ho sɛ ɔne ne yere na obi nim kwan fa so a so anim sɛ sisi ade social media na manfo de ade aba social media na tesa Ghana for sɛ aduane ne wo mu ni anya wasɛm de ba amanfo be ka papa nti anɔpɛ de Eugene Ahen fiti enu anadwo am sɛ saa divorce krataa sɛ ne yere krataa ɔde kɔ court sɛ court nhwɛma no na awadegya yɛ ensɛm na mkyɛ sɛ wohwɛ krataa no mu na manfo no mu bisa sɛ Eugene Ahen ti be mfie be 9 ɛna bɛtumi nya sɛ japadeɛ wei nyinaa ɛnan ahodoɔ cars ahodoɔ na kyɛ ɛne nkɔm Ghana fo nso so sɛ nsɛm no ba ne saa deɛ a ɛne ɔmbɛso mu ɛne ɔwɔ mo bɛka saa
Extra Punk no. Needs FM.
If you're right, me watch you.